glasses because he was blind as shit, but he never.
With the original Broadway recording cast after a brief detour into the wilds of guest. So we're really excited tonight. Tonight's show is going to kick off the year the right way, I think, because we have somebody that
No pressure.
Because Danger Muppet and I both love very, very dearly. So yeah, no pressure, Fearghus.
Yeah. I believe Thorfinn said it right. Don't fuck it up.
So we are a live stream show where we ask a guest from around the known world to answer your pressing questions about life, the universe, and everything. So also a reminder, if you've got pressing questions that come up during the show, please feel free to drop them in the comments on YouTube, and we will be keeping our eyes peeled. We have Katrina, who is basically kind of our like mod goddess, who's polling all those questions for us. So anything strikes your fancy during the show.
Apparently our audio is looping.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, it's been fixed.
Damn it, I was doing really good with my intro today. Anywho. Anyways, so this week is sponsored by the Mint Julep because, well, I'm not a proper Southern male, but our guest is. And also cider, just because he likes it. I am one host of your Broadway, one half of your hosting Broadway recording cast spiel. Tulia Olori. I'm a Laurel from the West Kingdom. I'm also a court baroness, and I really love the SCA. I'm keeping my enthusiasm high. I'm really excited about what 2021 has to bring. So without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to my co-host Helga for her introduction.
Hi, I'm Helga. I'm a knight, a pelican, and a royal peer in the SCA. I am the other half of the original crew. Even though I'm going to say I got to watch the 2 episodes that I was not a part of, and I'm going to say that my co-host fucking killed it. And so thank you very much. Thank you all for tuning into the show. Happy New Year. I like dogs. So, and with that, our guest tonight is Viscount Uncle Fearghus. And he isn't like your dirty uncle. He's like the uncle you go to get drunk with.
Yeah, he's a cool uncle.
Fearghus, would you like to do an introduction?
Hi, I'm Viscount Sir Fearghus of the West Kingdom. I'm very quiet and shy, so I apologize now for the evening and how reserved. Fuck that. What am I saying? Jesus Christ, this pants is flighted. Let's do this thing, right? I've been in the SCA longer than Christ is a corporal, but there are people been here longer than me, and you know what? I don't give a shit. I have been through it all. Let's see it all. Let's do it all, people. Let's kick this thing off. Oh, and wait, last thing. Yeah. Fuck 2020.
Yeah. Fuck you, 2020. Fuck you with a fucking anchor. As I
I'm gonna really like this episode.
Oh, it's gonna be good. There's gonna be awesome. A lot of F words, so you know, just
oh yeah, if kids are watching at home, just know this is
go to bed.
If kids are watching at home, you've got a lot of explaining to do.
Bonus points if somebody keeps track of how many F-bombs we dropped tonight.
At this point, if you're in your mid-30s, go to bed. Like anything below that, like I'm telling you.
Fuck you. I'm not even in my mid-30s yet.
You're in your early mid-30s.
I'm just barely there.
34? You just turned 34, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're getting there. Girl, it's close.
Okay. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the drinking game. Drink whenever a host or guest uses a non-SCA name when referring to somebody else on the show.
Oh God, I'm screwed.
Drink when someone's pet appears on camera. My husband does not count as my pet. Drink when somebody calls for a soapbox or the audience calls us on a soapbox. drink when somebody mentions spite sprinkles or toe beans, and the guest rule of the evening is
Drink any time that a story is started with "no shit, I was laying there dead."
I think that's going to go down in history as the strangest rule, and now I'm waiting for the story that you're going to tell tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, there's plenty, right?
Oh,
plenty of. I was laying there dead and saw this really cool thing.
So, also, one of the things is I'm going to have a quick PSA about the show. We have had the drinking game going on now for 38 episodes with 4 bonus episodes. And there's something that's talked to about behind the scenes, but not in front of the scenes. Our show is huge on consent. And so the drinking game doesn't have to be alcohol, and anybody can opt out at any time. That also includes you, our audience. Tap out when you need to tap out. And so we just wanted to go over that real quick because we've had that question now directed at us a couple times and had a guest or two worried that they couldn't keep up with the drinking game. We're like, oh, no, you can drink water or anything.
You know what's
drink.
funny?
Like,
most of the time I'm drinking water.
Yeah, this is for fun and sport. And so please understand that out there. This is the end of the PSA. Hopefully I never have to do that PSA again. Now get down to drinking. So, the questions of the night. Miss Sassy Seamstress, do you wish to start it off?
I would love to. All right. Fergus.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you find the SCA?
Oh, okay. So no shit there was.
Were you dead?
I should, in my heart. I found the SCA very simply. I was living in Chico at the time, which is actually Rivenoak. And I led a life before the SCA that was the absolute opposite of what I am today, right? What everybody here sees is Fergus. My real name is Mark, and you'll hear me talk about him later on because they're two separate people. They're opposite sides of a coin. Mark was a complete asshole, right? Like he beat people up for no reason. He was just that guy that you would walk on the other side of the road to get away from. And I loved to fight. And I was at a game one night and somebody says, hey, there's these crazy motherfuckers over here in the park that hit each other with sticks hard. And I was like, what? And they go, oh yeah. And the cops aren't even called. I'm like, shit, I got to go there. Like, I got to go. So I went out and I watched and I saw what was going on and literally did research on the SCA for a year because I was like, I'm not getting caught up in something where the cops are going to be called on me, something like that. After a year, I decided I wanted to be part of it because I got to hit people with sticks and the cops didn't get called. So I went over to Baron Gwynn's house.
He's my evil twin.
Yeah.
I'm his evil twin. We're not sure.
It was funny. I went over to his house and knocked on the door and he rips the door open, full garb. It's like Tuesday. Rips the door open, full garb, trying to like impress me. I'm thinking, all right. He goes, you want a beer? I'm like, shit, yeah, right. I'll take a free beer from anybody. He goes for like an hour and a half, right, telling me about the SCA and all these wonderful things. And the only thing I can think of is I'm drinking a free beer and I just need a consent form to sign up. That way insurance is covered, right? And when we got to the question part, he goes, so do you have any questions? I'm like, yeah, you got one of those forms I can sign? I've already researched the SCA for like a year. I know I want to sign up. I just need a form. That's all I came here for. He goes, you did what? And that's how it all started, right? I never got to be a fringy. I never got to be any of that. My first camping event was with the Principality and Kingdom Kyurgeon and the Kingdom Constable, right? So,
right?
Yeah, like
yeah.
Down the rabbit hole I went. So that's how I found the SCA. Is it was a place that I could go hit people in the face with sticks and the cops didn't get called.
It's a good outlet for your, and shaping and honing and directing of violent urges.
Oh God, yes. It totally changed everything. I still love to be violent, but now I'm courteous about it.
That's right. That's a mark of a true knight. All right, Helga.
From us to you, what brings you back to the SCA or keeps you engaged?
What keeps me engaged, to be honest, is this, right? And not just between two peers, but the community. The community is amazing. These people that strive so hard to do something for nothing, right? Nobody here is getting paid. Nobody here is getting anything out of this other than that love of what they do and helping other people. That's something I've learned in the SEA since starting that first day and trying to hit people with sticks, is the fact that first event, that first time I went there, everyone was like, how can I help you? Not, hey, do you got $10 and I'll give you this thing? It's like, no, here it is, right? Here's how we do this. And I was skeptical, but it's that love and that giving and all of that I have found that has become so much part of myself that I love, is the fact that I just want to take everything that I have and give. And I got that because of what we have. So every time I turn around and every time I have a bad day, I think, what can I do for somebody else? Because I know somebody would do for me. And it warms my heart. Even in this trying time, it warms my heart knowing that if I went, you know what, I'm just having a shitty day. Hey, can somebody, I'd have 15 people going, what do you want? What do you need? Like, let's do this thing. Like, what's up? So it's the community. It's the people.
Yeah.
I like that answer.
I do too. I just got a warm fuzzy.
I know. I was just like, oh, there's a little feel there.
I know. I kind of cool.
Also, sassy, that coronet. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm stealing the shit out of that thing.
Maybe I should explain. So one of our previous guests, Baron Master Cormac, makes these, and I saw one that he had made for another previous guest of ours, Constance, and coveted their coronet. And then I saw, like, I think it was Anna has one too. Like, a couple of other people have had these coronets. And I basically just told him, I'm like, I really, really, really covet one of those coronets, and now it's you. And he's like, oh, I'll just make you one. So I got one. I got it in the mail a week ago or so, and I thought, I'm gonna save this for a special show. And yeah, it's lightweight. It's super nice. It's very flexible. Like, it's comfy.
That is uber badass.
It
like,
is really great.
Oh my God, it is so perfect.
I might do a little like blinging up, because if it's the surface, I've got to bedazzle it. So it is perfect just in its own right. Although I have a quick question. So I always like to center front and back, but I was yelled at by somebody whose opinion I really, 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 really value, that historically it should be like this. So I want to know, do you guys like it better with the points at, like, here, or centered?
I'll be honest, for me, I'm so used to seeing everything centered here with the crowns and the coronets, everything is centered. Seeing the ducals that are off, which, it's very, it's
like all mine are centered.
I'm kind of a centered person.
I also have like things about like symmetry that I'm like, well, it just looks nicer, and it's,
Oh, as a cabinet maker, if it's not square, fuck that thing, right? Like, holy shit.
Okay, so we got way off topic already, and we're only 2 questions in. So
I'm surprised we made it through 2.
I know, right? That's
all about focus.
Yeah, no, this is how this episode's going to be, I'm pretty sure.
Focus.
All righty. So I have a question for you. It's actually a question I came up with, which was, how has your approach to fighting changed after losing a significant amount of weight? Because you used to be a much bigger person, and now
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Funny story. When the significant amount of weight, for those of you that may not know, I at one point in my life weighed 418 pounds. I have lost 200 pounds. So I lost a human being, and not just a regular human being, but somebody you don't want to meet in a dark alley. Like, seriously, that's a big fucking dude. My approach to fighting is much different. It's like I tell everybody all the time, if I was this small whenever I first started, fuck fighting, right? This shit hurts. I got bones near the surface. So my approach has become understanding my opponent and the fact that mobility is key, right? Before, at 400 pounds, I was a Sherman tank. If you were inside the kill box, I was just going to smash you, right? And if I got hit in the process, I'm like, I'll be fine. But since becoming smaller, I have died to my own salute, right? Seriously, it hurt. I hit myself in the collarbone and I was done.
Wow.
So, and that was a salute. I went, hey, right? Like, there's a bone there I didn't know about until like recently. So it's all about mobility. And I have become a much more mobile, much more active fighter. And to be honest, I love it more.
Mhm.
I really do. Right? It is absolutely amazing seeing this other side of fighting. So that's pretty much it. And the fact that I love it more now. It's less of a hassle to put on armor when you're not strapping it over that much person.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
All right, you ready for the next question?
sure.
This one comes from me. Tell us how you first met the hosts.
Oh, so I'm going to start off with the sassy seamstress first,
What?
because Helga's, I'm hoping to praying to God that she just leaves. So I had met Tulia a while ago, but I didn't realize it. Because we ran in different circles, right? I was the loud, boisterous, like big mouth, raw. And I loved being the center of attention because, well, that's just me. And Tulia is an amazing person. But when we first met, I remember this quiet person that was so wonderful and so gracious, but very much like in the back, and then recently meeting her for a second time, we had met, and then we ended up in Awertha together.
Yep.
And shit hit the fan. She decided that we were drinking buddies, and we were named drinking buddies, and it was on.
I think you decided we were drinking buddies, but
well, whatever. I grabbed the halter and ran, and Thorfinn's got short arms, so he can only catch me so fast. But it was amazing the fact that we were so close and how much fun we like to have in different ways, right? So, and it was a wonderful thing when I first met you, Julia, and it was so much fun. And now that our relationship and friendship has grown since then, it's amazeballs. I wouldn't give you up for the world, and I swear to God, I'd wade through hell to fight a circle saw just to make sure that you were having a great fucking time.
thank you.
Right? How I met little Miss Helga over there. Oh, you know what? Araya, fuck it, drink. Boom! Right? Because it's on. So, let me tell you this story. This story is a little different. It's violence.
I like it.
So-
I'm this nice person.
Just quiet, mellow, super cool. And
Oh,
then
this
there's
was
the other side of the coin. So, I met Miss Helga when she was 12 or 13. I swear to God. She was this little girl with bugs in her hair, lived up on the fucking top of a mountain. It was bad.
A little wild child.
And at the time, I was Constable of Cynagua. My best friend in the world, Gunther, was Prince. And we went up to an event in Quincy, Stone's Gate, I think it was called, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we went up there, and there was some stuff going on, and Helga and some other people were being told something that wasn't true, and both the prince and I were like, that's bullshit, right? Well, everything went to hell in a handbasket. We're not going to get into that, right? But it went bad.
Yeah, it went really bad.
So at one point, the prince and I were like, we've got to go up to Quincy and deal with this as constable and as prince. So we drive up to Quincy, right? We're like, the first person we got to go talk to is this Araya person, right? Drink. Because I have to use your name in the story. So we drive up, we get the address, we go over to her house. We get out. Now, mind you, the Prince of Cynagua at the time was 500 pounds. Gunther was 500 pounds. I, at the time, was right at 390. So there is 800 pounds of humanity in two people. Right? We were a unit of measure, right? They would make bridges at wars and go, this is two Gunthers or a Gunther to Fearghus wide, or literally. We would smash the shit out of people. We come walking up and we crest the top of this little mound, and here's this little girl. Oh, she's so cute, got her hair, right? All this stuff. And we hear, right? And we're like, what the fuck is that? As we crest the top of the hill, and she's knelt down, these are her knees, and this is a goat, right? Like a little baby goat, right? Like this. And she's knelt down on the goat. Goat's got his head up, looking around, and she's petting the goat. She looks up and goes, oh, hey. And we're like, hey, Helga, everything all right? She goes, oh, yeah, everything's great. And we see her pet the top of the goat's head like this. And then she goes like this, and she grabs a hold of its snout and goes, pow! And snaps its fucking neck. I ain't shitting you. Like, this girl goes, bah! And falls over dead. I'm like, holy shit. I look at Gunther, and I'm like, oh, dude, this is you. I'm out. Fuck that. Mm-mm. And I left. I started walking back to the car. The prince was like, no, you got to come with me. We were both concerned for our safety. Watching her kill this poor little fucking goat. And we're like, what? She goes, oh, we're going to skin this one and we're going to eat this one. This is fine. And we're like, I look at Gunther. I'm like, all right, Your Highness, you need to talk to her. I'm going to sit over here and be quiet now. Right? I didn't say shit. No. That's how I met, like officially, like full on met her, was watching her snap the neck on. And this is not the worst story. Like, I'm telling you, this iceberg tip, iceberg. Yeah. All right. I'm telling you, all you people are like, oh my God, Helga's so great. Don't be a fucking goat.
Yeah.
Well, with that, should we I'm going to interrupt our regularly scheduled program. Miss Sassy, we actually got sent a Christmas present.
Yes. Okay.
Fearghus, do you mind if I derail this for a moment so I can open our Christmas present?
Ooh, shake it though. Shake it really hard. I don't know what it is. Oh, it's a bomb.
I would like to note it's from Radar.
O'Reilly?
Yeah, Radar Wiley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's a long term friend of mine from fandom, sci-fi fantasy fandom, and she basically now is like a fan of the show and is interested and actually has bought herself a membership to the SCA because of the show. And
Nice.
she's a very good and thoughtful gift giver.
I'm gonna go with Radar. Just smash this out.
Hey, can I have a minute, Julie, please? Thank you. I like Radar already. I want to or him, or I don't know. It's a new world. I don't know.
She's a she.
Okay.
Oh, it's a Pusheen with
Oh,
a sprinkle and a tiara that says B2P.
nice.
This is amazing.
That's awesome.
So we'll share custody. Like I can have it one week, you can have it the next week.
Fine.
This is amazing.
Yeah. So Pusheen is, of course, the little cartoon cat. Is a little gray fat cat, and yeah, I love Pusheen. And also, Pusheen loves donuts. So we have a Spite Sprinkle Pusheen.
I love it.
I'm so happy right now. What's going on? Also, I would like to note, I heard splashing while I was unwrapping packaging.
Oh my God, are we all ready?
Oh, dun, dun, dun. I will give the Lady of the Lake 5 coin if she pokes Araya right in the freaking leg right now. Just bang, because it's Pants Friday. Give her one. Yes,
She's gonna do it.
shake her. Shake her.
Okay, I'm reading this with its cute little corgi posted note, thanks to Sammy. What's your favorite gift you've ever received?
Oh.
No.
Can I see
Is
that
it the
for a minute?
Hulk?
Yep. That's the sticker.
Yes. Well, I can't read.
I know this is your first choice. What's your second? There's a story.
By the way, you owe her 5 coins.
Oh yeah. No, it's on. It is on. I'm totally paying that debt. Oh my God.
She's threatening me now. Look at what you did. Don't
I love
pay her
it.
to threaten
I
me.
love it. I love it. That's how you keep her in line. 1, you don't get in arm's reach, and 2, you pay somebody else off to do it for you.
I will treat you like a goat, Fearghus. So, your favorite gift?
Oh my God. I have to be honest. I have been so overwhelmed with so many things in my SCA career and I to be honest, I'm a human being, right? And I suffer from a thing. It's called jealousy, right? I love seeing when other people get stuff, but I'm like, man, that'd be really fucking cool. And so I started thinking about myself and what I had received. And some of the most wonderful things are, like, to be honest, my Hulk cloak. Like, that fucking thing is badass. It is right here. I can reach over and grab it, right? My spurs that I've been given, the chains that I've been given, it's just, it is absolutely overwhelming. Like, people just show up and give me things. To name one gift above all else, I don't think I can. They all are so, they all mean so much that it is the for lack of a better way to put it, it is the giving and all of it that makes it amazing. And I can't put one above another because they all mean the same and they all mean everything. Right? I look at my room, I look around, and I have just so much. I'm sorry if somebody was looking for something, but I can't put one above another because they all mean everything to me. Everything.
You kind of stole the words right out of my mouth. Like, when people ask this question of me, I always go blank. My brain kind of goes blank because I'm just like, I'm sitting here with, like, this was a gift. This is a gift. Sammy made me this lovely agate laurel pendant for Christmas. I'm not wearing the bracelet he also sent. He also sent a twisted wire Viking style bracelet that it fits me, like, and it's just one of those things where it's amazing that people are so generous with their time and their creativity and their generosity, that I'm always kind of stunned when I benefit from it and grateful, and I feel like I never give back quite enough. But I try really hard to at least say thank you, at least show that I'm grateful. But yeah, I feel very spoiled by the society, so it's hard to name like one particular thing. I have so many wonderful things, but yeah.
And I'm going to jump in real quick. It's exactly like you said. One of the biggest gifts I've ever been given is trust. Right? These people trust me, and if there was a betting game on when Fergus was going to cry, fucking pay up right now because it's coming.
Yeah, there's one going on right now in the chat.
It's the trust that people give you here. It's that amazing little bit that in our world that we live in today, and the bullshit we got to fucking go through, and the hatred and the anger and all the bullshit, it's that little bit of trust, right? I can never give that back. And it hurts. But I do everything I can every day to try to earn it. You know what? That's it. There's no tangible thing. It's that trust that people love me so much that they were going to give me their time and their understanding and their love and think so highly of me when the person that I was did not earn that. The person that I was the absolute opposite of that. And I had those people help me create the thing that I am today. So that is the most important gift I've ever been given. Is trust.
I trust you. I do. Yeah. You're one of the few I go to in a pinch for anything.
I was about to say, Fergus practically raised me. He's got my trust. Like, he took a very savage little creature and was like, I brought you food. Like we'll figure this out later. There's food. The biggest gift that I'm going to say that I was given in, like, my favorite gift was a second chance. It kind of goes into it. And I realized that poor Lady the Lake had a different idea with her question. And then
God damn it, I'm not supposed to be the touchy-feely hard question.
Did I make the lady cry? Did we fill up the
she is full of tears right now.
Fuck, I'm out.
No, you're not. We still got more, motherfucker.
Oh, we got like 10 more questions.
And so
I love you, lady.
Yeah.
I love you.
the big gift that like, or the biggest thing that I received in the SCA was that second chance, and multiple second chances, and the mentorships that I gained. I am the person I am today because of the SCA. I'm not some. I have a lot of explosive words about what I could have been, and what I was very much so shaping up to be until I found the SCA. And so really that gift was finding people like Fearghus, who, even though I scared him shitless, still brought me food, and so many other people, and that gift of knowledge that is so freely given within this society, which is one of the most powerful things we do. And it is the reason why this society will continue on, even if it shrinks for a little bit, because that is the nature of who we are. Is we want to gift and have people there and see them grow and flourish and be the best person they can be, whether it ends up with them being a peer or not. Like, that's the cool thing about the society, and that is the biggest thing that anybody can ever gift you in your life, is a second chance to being a better person.
And I'm gonna jump in real quick and show one more thing as far as gifts. I was given something that was almost killed somebody. Oh, that's right, one of the hosts.
Oh yeah. So,
you got the bear. You got the bear skin.
Yeah. So
this is the bear that almost killed Helga.
So yeah, and that was my gift to him, when I actually had that moment of realizing that he had given me like that first step of gift of acceptance, and then mentorship, and he became one of my guardians. So he actually he legally had guardianship of me at events for like the first 3 years of my SCA career.
Proves you how fucking stupid I am.
Yeah, I know, like literally, my parents just like blankly signed the slip, and then I'd bring it to Fearghus and be like, "Finish filling this out." And then, but that's something, and so I gifted him something that meant a great deal to me, because it was like the only way, like I can't ever come close to paying him in that original crew back. I'm here today because of them. And so, yeah, now that everybody's toe beans are touched, I'm going to add a rule. Drink anytime a host or guest cries.
Oh, Jesus, we are so fucked.
I'm going to say
Bring me the rum.
I don't cry in front of people unless it's really, really bad stuff, usually happy stuff. I internalize, and then later on I'll have like my little breakdown somewhere else. So you may not see me actually cry, but my feels,
she is the rock among us.
I am weirdly very like stoic about certain things and then very not stoic about other things.
And that's why I was talking about when we first met. You were very much like, and I was like,
God, there was a lot of shit happening when we first met that I think
there's some stuff under there that I want to fucking find. Like,
yeah, oh girl, next time we're in meat space, we are going over a lot of that stuff. I'll lay it all open. But yeah, it actually was funny because I remember I wanted to just say one thing about Fearghus. One of my earliest memories of Fearghus was his lady, Sylvie, who I had immense respect for because she was also a costumer and, very much kind of interested in the same sort of things I was interested in. And we connected on LiveJournal a billion years ago. And Fearghus kind of came around with that because obviously, they're together, right? And I just always remember this big, loud, boisterous, red blur of energy and always kind of being like, this guy is really intense. And not knowing what to do with that until I became more comfortable with my own insanity, I think.
I'm gonna tell you right now, she is amazeballs.
Yeah. So I love your wife. She's rad. So.
Oh yeah, the Sylvia is amazing.
Yeah.
So the other thing I'm going to tack on to my answer real quick, because I realize that this is something not said often enough about the SCA, is the SCA was the first place I experienced true masculinity, and I'm going to point at our guest.
Non-toxic
as an example of this is
I was like,
Fearghus is actually one of the first people or first men that I met that would be openly willing to cry. And then I didn't see him, like we would tease him about it, but everybody was still supportive. And there wasn't a don't stop doing that, you're not being a man or anything else like that. It was accepted as part of his character. It was accepted as that. And that is something that I have never seen otherwise in the West Kingdom or really the West Coast. And I can't speak to all kingdoms, but seeing a healthy version of masculinity and my ideas around that have been defined by the people within the SCA. And I now look outside of that to the mundane world and I'm like, how are you not caught up with a medieval shit show club that drinks on the weekends? Like we're all alcoholics with a costuming problem, okay? And we got this down and you don't.
The funny thing is, I used to get given shit all the time about crying, and I would look at him and go, I'm 400 pounds. Now you got to explain how the teary 400-pound guy just beats shit out of you.
Well, and you know, it is one of those things. I was telling Thorfinn not that long ago that him and his friends are a really excellent example of non-toxic masculinity, of men who are not afraid to be in touch with their feelings and to discuss, you know, heavy stuff and to have conversations and have emotions and cry or laugh, and sometimes at the same time, you know. And then it's not just the go out there, be violent, be like, you know, that kind of stuff. And how rare that is anywhere else in the I don't think I'm not saying the SCA in general, but I'm like outside of the SCA, I think that is incredibly rare. And you guys are like, you guys are the kind of what I would say, I would like take some young man aside and say, be like those men. Like those are the people you want to look at and you want to model yourself after. And yes, they fucked up and they had like lengthy histories of various levels of fuckery in their lives, but they've gotten through a lot of that and it made them who they are today. And that is, you know, a decent human being, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We're getting the wrap up sign from like everybody right now.
We've got the wrap up sign like for the last 10 minutes.
I know. I'm just seeing this in the background. Like, come on, guys. And I'm like,
I would say Carius is pulling his hair out, but he ain't got none.
Oh, girl.
The shade starts. I'm going to go with everybody drink. We just soapboxed off a
Holy
lake
shit
question, and then we'll get rolling into
did
everything
we
else.
warn people that this was going to go long?
Oh, yeah. Y'all better have coffee. Fuck drinking.
I'm betting that we beat Logan's time.
Logan was 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I don't
Anybody
think
can beat
I don't
Logan.
think we're gonna beat the Maggie episode. That episode is so long we can't upload it to Facebook.
Yeah, that's like 3 hours.
I'm like, anybody can beat Logan. Come on.
You gotta drink though. You didn't call her by her new SCA name, Dobroshka.
Damn it, Dobroshka.
Anyways, okay, let's actually answer the fifth question that we have.
Oh shit, there's more questions?
We got a lot
hang
more.
it out.
Yes. All right. So the next question comes from Sir Gar. What have you seen that should have turned out wrong/bad that turned into something great?
Oh God, so much. Do I have to pick one?
Or
Like
top three?
Something that turned out so wrong, that looked like it was going to be so wrong, but turned out great. To be honest, the way I met my best friend in the world, Gunther, right? For the longest time, I'd been the largest object on the face of on SEA battlefield, right? So I'd walk out there at 380 pounds or whatever, and I'd just smash people. So I'd gotten lazy as shit. And it was Alfred land. I walk out, right? And I look across the field, and there's somebody big out there. And I'm like, oh, who the hell are you? Right? And about that time, this other large planetary object looked across the field and saw me and was like, it's like two bulls in the same pasture, right? We were like, I am sure that our commanders were giving us orders. We didn't give a fuck. Like, they didn't give us whatever.
Yeah.
So everything shut off, right? And I had made people fly. And I'm like, your big ass is going to learn that you ain't shit, pal. So we're sitting there across the field. We hear Leon, and you see, it's like trains, right? It's all slow. We get going. And just as soon as we get to hit each other, I'm like, you're gone. And boom! And I open my eyes and I'm like, what's that? What is blue? Like, shit, that's the sky. Bang! Like, seriously, he sent me flying. Like, I was like, holy shit. I sat up and he's like looking around and he runs off. Well, okay, scampers, because at 500 pounds, you don't fucking run. Like, that shit don't happen. Right? So I'm like, right? So we line up again, and it's like, it's on, right? Boom! Whoosh! Like, here I go again. Right? I'm going. I'm like, this is not working well for me. Like, what the hell is going on? So later on that day, we have this battle where we're in a forest, and it's a relic battle. And Then Aldwin was the runner. His job he was a he at the time. Sorry, I'm not trying to be anything. I love you, Allie. I love you. Their job was to run and grab the relic and run out, right? So we're running around in this forest, and the forest was consisted of peeler cores in concrete, right? Painted like a tree. Dumbest thing ever. We fought in a chicken coop, right? So his job at the time, was to run around and find the relic. So I come around the corner and I see the relic. I'm like, hey, and they look at me and I'm like, it's right there. And they start running and I look up and look down this hallway and here's this giant human being that I come to know as Gunther. I'm like, and I'm like, what's he doing? Like, why isn't he charging me? And I look down and he's watching the feet underneath run. And he's got a time to launch me into the runner. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Right? Like, how do I stop this? And I start backing up and I'm like, I got to figure something out. And I feel my back go up against one of these peeler cores. So I boom, and I'm like, I got you now. And I start cussing him like, you son of a, and I start cussing at him. And I see him mad, but he's watching the feet. And he starts to charge. I'm like, I'm a dead man, but it's going to be fucking funny. Right? So as he's running, just as he goes to hit me, I back up against this peeler cord. I grab my shield and I pull it to my body as hard as I can and exhale. He hits me. Bang! Pow! Hits the ground that fast. And I go, oh God, I'm not dead. Look tough, right? And I look down at him and he's looking at me and the look in his eyes is like, I've been plastering this guy all day. Like, what the hell's going on? And he looks at me, I'm like, Allie runs off with the helmet. I turn and go to walk. And as I do, I walk past and he sees the peeler cord. He goes, oh, hell, right? That was the moment that he realized that I was not bigger than he was, but I was going to outsmart him. We decided that day we were going to team up. After that, it was done.
I love that.
It was amazeballs.
I love it when you like you should. Everything says you should be like, arch enemies, but you guys end up best friends. That's like the best thing ever.
And it was horrible what we did to people after that.
See?
Like
combined forces.
We would literally like be on a bridge and people would run at us. We would not charge them. We would just slap them off the bridge with our shield, which is illegal, by the way. You should not hit people with shields. And coming from someone who was Earl Marshal, please do not make physical contact with somebody else that is with your shield, because that is illegal. Anyway, I would literally bitch slap the shit out of them off the boom, and Jeff would go, and we would like drive entire units off of bridges. And they're like, what happened? They're like, what's up? And we'd just go sit down and drink. Like, that's all we did.
Oh, man. It's beautiful.
I love the like mid-story, like deadpan disclaimer and then back to story.
Earl Marshal Fearghus came out.
I mean, Earl Marshal Fearghus would have beat the dog shit out of
Oh my God, I would have taken my own fucking card.
Yeah, like,
I'm glad somebody else saw my card because
don't do what I did. Do as I say, not as I do.
Boom! I tell my son that shit all the time.
Would you tell your kid?
Yes. Yes.
Don't do what daddy does. Do what daddy says.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not the only one that says it. My wife does too. Don't listen to your father.
Well, I always say know the rules so you can break them. That's my motto.
Right there.
Nudge them a little bit to the left or right or whatever,
They're more like guidelines.
Break it over your knee.
Gray area.
Yeah, always find that gray area. I'd be a gray Jedi. For sure would be a gray Jedi.
I am sure it was incidental contact when Jeff and I would literally smash people to the ground and then lay on them.
And you didn't kill anybody.
Dude, I laid on somebody for like 10 minutes in a war and they were like, I'm not dead. Can you roll over so I can get up? I'm like, no, you can push me off. And they just looked at me deadpan like that's fucking possible.
See, this is why I don't have you fight in the West Kingdom. Like, Helga is petite. I am like that and then shrunk about like 10%.
I don't know if I've ever been called petite in my life.
Okay, I would say maybe you're what's considered small. You're an average size woman.
She's SCA minuscule.
She's
like height.
But in the SCA
ego, she's SCA fucking double Uther. Right.
No, she's SCA like tiny. And I am SCA like pixie, like compared to you guys who are just massive. And like we have a lot.
Not anymore. I'm SCA tiny too. I'm right there with you.
Curious. The chat is on the screen again.
Is it? I don't know.
Oh, Carrie. He doesn't like us when we just ramble. Anyway, Helga, what's your answer to this?
So I'm actually gonna defer to the amazing Fergus to give me a reminder of something bad that turned out really good. Because I'm thinking, and I'm like, what have I watched that was really bad? I mean, I've watched Squire races, or basically boots and belts, which
Yeah,
always
that was
seems like a bad
ridiculous.
idea.
Like, thank God I didn't have that night. Like, my night didn't drink, so I never had to do that shit. But oh my God, you walk out on the Eric and you're like, I'm out. Like,
No,
that.
like,
Nope.
legitimately, I have watched Bela talk people into doing some of the weirdest fucking shit. Like boots and belts being one of them, or victory laps in quotes. So I think that one's definitely on that. Like, it was really funny though. Holy crap, was it funny? But like, Fergus, what's a wrong/bad thing that we've done that actually turned out great? I mean, there was the time that I gutted the deer on the edge of the SCA area so that we could then roast it.
That we've
it had
done?
to be processed off SCA grounds.
If it's us, it was the time that we scared the entire Cook's Playdate.
Oh, when I walked in with the bear in
bear.
just nothing but...
Wait, literally. Okay, so the Cook's Playdate at West Ontario were like, oh, God, there was a bear killed, all this other stuff. Like, okay. So anyway, and no, Araya didn't do it. I don't give a shit what the whole fucking story is. Araya did not chew the bear's neck out or whatever the fuck bullshit you people are thinking. That did not happen. But, right, I did witness my little sister, right? And there were other people there. By the way, the stories about you are amazing because I don't know. Like, being your second at this point, like, did anybody else exist? Like, seriously. Like, I was holding the fucking bear in the tree, just to be clear. Like, I was there. All these people like, this shit happened. I'm like, I know. Anyway, so the Cook's Playdate found out there was a bear that was harvested, and they were like, everybody was like, we want some bear. And the Cook's Playdate was like, hey, we want some bear. So as we were skinning this thing, we're like, well, it's the Cook's Playdate, so they've got to want some bear, right? So, and it's Cook's Playdate, they got a bunch. So we split this thing down in half, right? We have half a bear, like hind quarter, front quarter, middle quarter, right? Like, and yes, that's 3/4. Shut up. Anyway, so everybody knows math. I don't care. So we split this thing down the middle. We divide up the rest. We throw it in the back of the truck. We're driving by the Cook's Playdate. Araya and I are sitting. Oh shit! I said Araya, drink.
You said it like 3 times, but whatever. Who's counting?
Helga and I sit in the back of this truck. We get to the Cook's Playdate. We drop the tailgate. She jumps out on the one side. I jump out on the other. We grab each end of this bear. Like, I got the hind quarter. She got the front quarter. We pick it up. We turn and look at the Cook's Playdate and goes, hey, where do you want this? The entire encampment went,
we wanted
what's
a little
that?
bear.
And we're like, y'all wanted some bear.
Okay.
Like,
Also,
no. We wanted. I'm like, you bunch of pusses. Like, so we had to give them another piece. We had to go butcher it up. But yeah, it turned out really nice because I ate fucking bear for like 3 days.
there's a couple additions that need to go with this story. Because Fergus missed a couple things. So I was a butcher for a living. And so I have Fergus, who is still Fergus at this moment in time, and Gunther, who is still Gunther at this time, and a bunch of other fucking squires come running into my camp, or like, shuffling aggressively, like whatever you want to put it that way. And they look like they have gotten in a batch of trouble. Just like there is shit going down at this point.
Were we ever not in trouble?
And Fergus like gets up on his little tippy toes and is like, do you have your knives with you? Yes.
You got to know your audience.
Yes, I have my knives with me. And he goes, can I have them? And I was like, no, Fergus, you will take me to where the dead thing is and I will deal with it. And so we then all pile in my F-350 to where the owner of the land has killed a bear girdling trees. I'm in my knight's favorite tunic.
Oh yeah, she's dressed to the fucking nines, by the way.
So we now get this bear that is dead in a tree, hanging by a back leg. We start to process it, and I realize as I am about to start gutting this bear that I look at my arm and I'm like, oh no, I can't do this. So now I'm doing this in my tall leather boots and a set of fighting breeches and a sports bra with a bunch of my guy friends I am now covered in blood. Fergus is covered in blood because we're the two just willing to fucking rip into this thing and go from there. So that's a part of the story that he's missing. We looked like something out of a horror movie.
Oh yeah,
At
we
this point
committed.
in time, I'm butchering and breaking horses for a living. I'm nothing but an angry brick of muscle with tits. Like, that's it. And then we proceeded to have him and he's all dressed in his Vikings. I am now in tall boots and fucking breeches and a sports bra, go around to the various camps delivering this damn bear. Both of them ate really, really well.
I'm going to tell you right now, the funniest fucking part was watching these guys that had been chasing after Helga for a couple days. Like, oh, she's hot. And they would come around the corner and see her covered in blood with a sports bra and the breeches on and be like, hey, like the look on their faces, like, I'm not sure. I'm like, just walk away, dude.
At that point in time, I was totally blind, deaf, and dumb to anybody hitting on me.
Dude,
I'm
they were like
blind, deaf, and dumb, but
you could see them. They were like, I'm not manly enough. I'm like, no, you're not. Just go the fuck away. Go away.
He was totally doing the big brother thing of like, leave my little sister alone.
Like, she will break. I don't even have to do shit. That was the best part about having Helga as my little sister. I didn't have to do shit. She was the scary one. I was the one warning people, going, she will fuck you up.
So, Miss Sassy, your story?
I'm gonna go with both of you. Should have been wrong, but turned out oh so right.
Okay, now I want some deets.
I love you both very, very much. But there were points and times where, yes, I despaired. And yet, look where we are now. I love you both. So
now you're stuck with us.
I know, and it's great.
Like herpes.
The happiest herpes I've ever had.
Oh my god. So with that, do we want a commercial break like Carius was suggesting?
Is there supposed to? By the way, I have to ask, I'm just going to ask, I'm like nibbling on my dinner. Is that a problem? I don't want to screw up the audio. Okay. Because we're at home.
You're not like right in front of your mic, like.
Yeah, we're at home. This is how I would be if we were at an event. Yeah. I'd be eating and telling y'all to eat. So fucking eat, like, fuck that.
Sort yourselves.
With that, why don't we go to commercial break and then we'll roll through the next questions because this is definitely going to be a long show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll say it right now. Send in your fucking questions. I'll answer anything. I don't give a shit.
He'll answer anything. He don't give a shit.
Oh, and fuck. We didn't say it enough yet. Fuck.
Are we getting to commercial anytime soon? We're just going to keep going.
This is 100%.
Don't do it, Carius. Don't do it. It's a trap.
This is 100% just the wildest fuck show.
I think what happened was that I responded to Carius. Carius, do you want to cut to commercial?
He even took off his headphones. He's
Let's
like,
do that.
you people are assholes.
Headphones on. Yeah.
We're never having Fergus back on again.
I like how I actually didn't read his text. He was talking about going to commercial. Do we want to go do another question and then follow that? Or there's like, are we just...
off, the Eric monster. Get out of here.
Oh
That's
my,
Fergus's spawn.
Oh my God.
this is the episode
Poor
that
fucking kid.
Produced.
I feel like we should have prepared our audience for this episode, and I'm not sure we gave enough
Preachy.
warning.
Yeah, maybe we should like rewind a little bit and say, here is your mid-show warning about this show. Mid-show warning is basically, I'll bet we're off. Carius?
Hey, Carius, your mic's on. Carius can't hear us. Carius, your mic's on.
Is on, Carius.
Oh my God.
So Carius is doing a dual thing. Like, so Baby Ninja couldn't work tonight, so because he actually had real work. And Carius is running a and doing our show. Bless his heart. Here he is. He's okay, cool. So our
Just welcome to the chaos of this show. I think it's my question next.
it is your
Dumpster fire.
I love this show.
This
so
is a
much.
good dumpster fire.
Yeah. This
Also,
dumpster fire is my favorite dumpster fire.
Oh, I got to point out. I'm gonna tell you right now. No, I'm butting in. I love Thorfinn. Fuck that guy. I kept watching him do these shows, and he had the cool fucking background. I'm like, fuck that. I gotta outdo his ass.
Yeah,
Check
yours
that
is
shit
way
out.
nicer than his. Yeah, you look at you,
He
Mr.
could-
Viking.
That man could beat me like I was a redheaded stepchild. And yes, redheaded stepchild. But fuck that. I look good doing it.
That's right. Look good.
okay, and with that, Mr. Interruptus,
Interrupt.
one, I would like to have everybody in the comments give Katrina some love. She is being amazing and keeping up with all the questions that you send in. She is the wrangler of that project. It would not happen without her help. So give her your love.
Whoop. And she fell into a fire once.
Also, she did fall into the fire once.
I'll tell you that because she can't comment. Yeah.
And with that,
I'm lip reading fuck you right now behind the scenes. Anyways, let's actually go to the next question.
Next question.
Yeah.
Okay, this one comes from Eleonora. What's your favorite gambling game and why?
Oh, favorite gambling game, super easy. Ship Captain and Crew. Why? Because it is super easy to teach anybody. And if you find myself or any of my squires, we always have everything we need to do it. And we are willing to do it at any time, because that's part of the problem of wearing my belt or one of my squires' belts is you are required to have coins and dice on you at all times, right? Because we will gamble at a drop of a hat. Ship Captain Crew, super simple, and everybody screws it up. It's about having a great time. I will teach it to anybody. I will gamble with anybody. I am as Norse as they are, right? So yes, please in the comments or whatever, or send me a thing. I will tell you how to play, but have a great time doing it. And the fact that that is how you bring people in. That's how you make people want to be there, is you give them that little bit. Like, hey, we're gambling. Come over here. Have 10 coin. Sit down and gamble with us. Boom. Done. Done without fucking question. Oh, and gambling on fights that I'm not in. That's a fun one too. But anyway.
That is also-
And I did that shit as Earl Marshall.
Yeah.
I ain't lying. I would gamble on anything.
There's no law against that. My answer is actually Fergus's answer, because Ship Captain Crew it's an easy game to learn. It's fun to play. You can play it drunk. So most games that I enjoy playing are I'm not a person who likes games. I had really bad experiences growing up because of my ADHD and executive functioning disorder bullshittery. I have a hard time following complicated rules and keeping, rules in my brain. So, I know what I'm supposed to do at any given time in a game. And that would lead me into all of these situations where I would be playing with like friends or family, and I wouldn't know a rule, or I'd forget one, and they would make fun of me or like just crush me and basically want to crush their heel on the back of my neck kind of crushing, not like the fun, like, haha, you lost. Oh, well, here's some coins because we're going to go next round and you're out. So let's keep going. It wasn't until I started gaming in the West Kingdom, and I need to say the West Kingdom has a thriving and very ridiculous gaming culture with these drinking not drinking games, but like tavern games, like, you know, pub games. And Ship Captain Crew, Demille is another one that's kind of similar. There, it's a dice game. Well, the one that we just played on Calbard's Corner a couple of days ago, Liar's Dice. They're simple, they're fun, they have easy to remember rules, and the whole thing about when you're going to walk into the tavern at an event where the West Kingdom has, like, mainly it's like these big wars, like these interkingdom wars where the West Kingdom is a principal, and so they have a large number of Westies that are there, and the tavern shows up, the Cock and Bulls Tavern, run by Baron,
which I've been kicked out of for being too loud.
That's amazing. It gets really loud in there. But yeah, like when you get like 100 Westies, like all just gaming and drinking and laughing and making fun of one another and trash talking, and it's fun. It's not like shitty trash talking. It's like fun. It's this magical explosion of energy and wonderfulness. And I didn't learn that I liked games until I started doing that with Westerners. And I think that that's the main thing for me, is anytime I can be around people having fun and not trying to just crush or win or be like, suck it, you know, like that shit, fucking, I'm not even going to be a part of that. So, but yeah, simple games, easy to remember when you're drunk, have a good time. And it's about like the community spirit. It's not about like who ends up with the most money at the end of the night, because people are stealing it anyway when you're not looking.
Unless you're Thorfinn, I'm going to get that box. I want that fucking box.
Yeah. Oh, his Boxo treasure, his like,
fuck yeah.
Yeah, girl, that's my what is it? My inheritance. It's basically my inheritance. If he dies, like I get all that. Because that's a lot of pounds of silver.
He comes out and flips that thing out on the table, and I'm like, oh, I feel inadequate.
Oh, that's a small one. Oh, he's only using the small one. It's not the big one.
And I know the moneyers by name.
I know. We have a really good moneyer culture in the West too. One of the few things the West really does well is gaming and moneyers to facilitate gaming. Helga, what's your answer?
I'm going to go with Ship Captain Crew. It is easy to remember, and the shit talking is epic. Also, I would like to note that I have emptied Fergus's coin purse more than once. Duke Connor and I are cutthroat as fuck with that game. Like, we have thrown bracelets down, we have like gambled knives, and it's like we throw down and like up the ante, and then it's one of those good fun things, because we'll play until like people win back what they were like, oh man, I'm like out of buttons. But I love watching, like, especially out of kingdom, so you're like at a big war. We've been playing Ship Captain Crew, and you can throw down whatever you put down is worth 1 coin. That is one of the rules that we all play with. And so if I like took off the silver and threw it down in the pot, that is worth 1 coin. It doesn't matter that this is a lot of silver. It's 1 coin. And we've had people cut buttons off their coat hardies to keep gambling with us. And that is one of my favorite things, is like winning all of somebody's buttons. Oh,
I'm going to tell you right now. One, when I introduced somebody to Ship Captain Crew, I'd won all their coin and they wanted to keep playing. They had this gorgeous pair of 14th century handmade boots. And they were like, so what about my brass buckles? I'm like, it's up to you. They reached down, they pulled the knife off their belt and cut these brass buckles, these handmade brass buckles, and put them on the thing. I'm going to tell you right now, my lady's got beautiful garters with handmade brass buckles. And I'm a shitty fighter, but I was almost king of the West.
Not true. You're not a shitty fighter.
I was almost king of the West, because I was sitting there playing Ship Captain Crew one time, having a great time, boom, boom, boom. The king at the time, I'm not going to say which one, came over and sat down next to me, right? And he'd been doing his thing, and he pulled the crown off, and we're playing, right? And he sets the crown on the table while I have the dice.
Oh, he
knows the rule. He knows the rule. I look at him. And I look at the dice in my hand, and he looks at me, and he's kind of like he's just chilling. And he looks at me, and I look at the crown, and I look at him with the dice in my hand, and he goes, whoosh! And he snatches it off the fucking table, puts it back on his head. I'm like, good job, Your Majesty. And rolled the dice, right? Don't think that I would have been like, thank you, Your Majesty. I think I would like to be called.
You
I
don't
would
suck
like
at
to note
fighting.
Fergus didn't win that role. He wasn't it wasn't even like almost as in horseshoes and hand grenades. He didn't win that role. He was nowhere near being crowned the West by winning it with a roll, because that was a crap motherfucking roll.
It was, but looking at the king's face, and he was like,
So
I was like,
apparently Helga was there to witness this. Are
you
we,
don't know how much shit we've been in together. Like, holy fuck. Oh, fuck again. Oh, God damn it. There it is again.
oh, fuck, God
All right,
damn.
we ready for the next question?
Yeah, let's do the next one.
I love you, Curious. I love you, Katrina. I'm sorry.
Oh, they knew what they were getting into. Well, actually, it's so someone actually, Lux asked in the comments just real quickly where they can get where you can find a coins, where you can get coins made. I've actually found Etsy sellers that will strike kind of what we, consider in the SCA to be like, rain coins or just plain coins. They're usually like aluminum. They're a silver, some sort of silver metal, pot metal, something like that. And you can get like 100 for,
Yeah, because Helga and I play so much, I found an Etsy seller that was selling basically like the balloons, which are nice, right? They make that nice clank sound. They have some weight to them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those.
Yep.
We bought like 500 of them for like $50.
Yeah, it's like you
right?
can get a gross for like, $10-20 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and they're amazing. So get those. Like and here's the rule. I'm gonna tell you right now to make your life easy as shit. One is one. Don't try to do the thing. And now, mind you, I've had people show up with really nice stuff, and I'm like, look, I know that's worth more than one coin. I will buy that from you for however many coin you want. That way you can play, and I'll take that thing, right? So that's how I do it, right? And that way they feel like they're getting it.
I also say that they're, have to warn our watchers, our viewers, because if you ever find yourself in a gaming situation and with a bunch of Westies, just watch your coin, because 95% of the fun is stealing other people's coins when they're not looking. So you could actually walk in with like a couple of coins to a game, and if you're stealthy and sneaky and sassy enough, you make out pretty well.
I want to add to that though. The West has a really cool gaming culture that if you run out of coins, we'll loan coins back. And so like when we're stealing coins back and forth, also it never turns into an exclusionary game. Yeah. It's really cool because like there's been times where I've run out of coins and like Fergus was like, I'm just gonna front you 10 coins, give me half your pot when you're done.
Or not even that. Like I've honestly just given away like 10 coins just because.
Oh yeah, I go to these tables with a pound to a pound and a half of coin.
Baroness, I can afford to give coins away. Yeah.
And that was my whole deal, and that's how I started. Is the fact that everybody was like, gave me coins to do it, so I feel obligated, and it's a good obligation. Yeah. That I'm like, oh, you want to play? Here you go. Like fuck yeah, let's. Like I will give you coins to play with me. Right, because so yeah, don't even worry about it. If you're ever in a West Kingdom event and you want to fucking gamble, come find me. I will pay you to play me.
Yep. So we've got a couple of people, and I know we're going to move on right now, but a couple of people are mentioning moneyers or people that make historical money to play with in the comments, and I wanted to shout that out. The West Kingdom has a master moneyer, that is Master Emmerich, and he will strike coins for like, they'll be custom even. It's like he does a lot of the rain coins. He's very active, kind of the front person of the Moneyers Guild. So yeah, you rain, you get like a giant bag basically. Like, here you go. And then there's Bespoke Pewter is another. Look at how rich that man is. Jeez.
This is the small bag. This is my little sack, and not the one in my pants.
Hey. And so Bespoke Pewter also does coins. And then there's Alpha Officium, who Alpha ALPH AOFFICIUM.com. Another, yeah. So, anyways, Sylvie says, put her coins away, Fergus, and let's get on.
Hey, I worked hard for those.
Come on, let's move on. Let's do this. We can do this. All right. So this next question is also from Lux. How does one find a peer/mentor in a remote environment?
Oh, that's right. I don't have to raise my hand. I'm
No,
the guest.
no,
I get
you
to
go
talk
first. You go first.
I'm going to tell you right now. You want to find a peer? You want to find a mentor? Just go fucking ask. In the SCA, I've realized this. In the SCA, everybody has social anxiety. Like nobody wants to be wrong. Everybody is like, oh my God, what if? I'm the same way. It comes down to if you have a question, if you want to get to know somebody, if you want to advance down that path, the only thing they can say is no, right? And it's not horrible. Just go ask. Walk up to them and say, hey, I find these things that you are doing interesting. I find this, I find that. Can we sit down and talk? And if you can do that and you can break that ice, you will find that everybody is like, oh my God, let's do this, right? Let's run down that fucking rabbit hole. So my biggest advice there is I understand and I know who I am. And I seem like I'm somebody that's super, assured and like, he doesn't care. He could do anything. Oh no, I'm a timid little fucking rabbit. Like, right? So you just got to go ask and don't be scared to ask. And if you don't feel comfortable and I'm there, come find me and say, hey, I want to get to know that person over there. Can you help me out? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a great matchmaker because I got no shame in this game, right? And I'll grab you up and throw you over my shoulder and be like, hey, what's up, right? So, and I will pose the question like it's a question I have so you can get the answer, right? We're totally groovy because I love that. Just ask, do the thing, because everybody wants to talk, but nobody knows how to start it. So, boom, right? And if they don't like you, fuck them. Pretty much. There's something else.
Helga?
All right. So finding a peer in a remote environment. I'm going to echo Fergus a little bit and say ask. I'm also going to say that the internet makes it a little easier, actually, because you can write a message. I'm going to say the first rule of finding a mentor is understanding that if you talk to somebody, it doesn't mean you're in a relationship. Like, consider talking to people like speed dating a little bit. Like, hey, I want to find out if we actually work well together and everything else like that. So if you are actually seeking the mentor relationship, remember that in the beginning of it, a little bit like speed dating, like find somebody that you click with and then continue on building that relationship. But it's in the digital age, it's very easy to send a message to be like, hey, I heard you're into this. I would really love to geek out about this. And if you guys geek out on that very like surface level about whatever topic it is, and you want to continue to seek a mentor relationship, that's when you start asking questions of like, hey, like I'm looking for this, or I'm like seeking help. Like, do you want to continue having these conversations? And then from there, it can blossom into something that is a more permanent thing. But I'm very millennial in this fact that I believe that like really it's kind of like Tinder, like swipe left, swipe right, fucking talk to somebody about whatever topic and go from there. And then if you want to keep them around more, send them another message. And that's kind of how I would say is the remote environment actually makes it easier because the knowledge pool is bigger. You just have to get over sending the message. And you'll find out that again, a lot of people are super awkward and social and everything else like that. Like we're all awkward idiots and none of us feel that we are masters of our thing. So just reach out and be like, hey, I like how you talk about this. And so I would like to continue to have this conversation with you. Also asking your peer friends within that category to be like, hey, I'm looking for somebody to have this conversation with. And believe me, all of us will be like, oh my God, I totally have the person that you should talk to, because all of us want to be little matchmakers. It just makes our hearts happy.
You could catch tips.
Yeah, like, and that's how it is. And so I would say that that's what I would do is either reach and stretch or have your friends that are already within that circle reach and stretch with you.
What they said. Maybe a new drinking rule game is whenever Tullius is what they said. But I agree with being like a very awkward little critter on the inside, and it is hard to strike up a conversation. But what's kind of cool is I want to help. I want to, like, preternaturally want to help. And so we have this thing in the SCA. I think it's maybe not just the West Kingdom. I can't tell you specifically if it is a thing that exists outside of the West, but in the West, there is very much this culture.
Drink.
Yeah.
Old rule.
Anyways, there's this culture of the peer has to be approached by the person who wants to, apprentice, squire, protege, student to that particular peer. And I think that is like a fuck ton of bullshit. Like, I really think, and I'm on that borderline between Gen X and millennials. So I am with Helga on this side of things, where just fucking ask for what you want. Like, march up to the person that you are interested in finding. You think like you guys could, or you could learn from this person's style or this person's interests or whatever meshes with whatever it is, and ask that person. You don't have to wait for them to ask you. Like, that just fucking annoys the shit out of me, because it's very much like, oh, I couldn't possibly, don't beat around the bush. Be upfront, say what you want, go for it. The problem is you do also have to accept that you might get turned down. You might get somebody that says, nah, I can't take an apprentice right now, or I'm not in the market for a squire, or my life is blowing up in this area and I can't take on a dependent, or I don't think we'd actually be a good fit. Like, so you got to kind of also temper. It is very much like dating. It is a dating thing, but you've got to also be ballsy, ask. And then also know that if they say no, it's not going to be a fuck you no. It's 99.99999% of the time, it's going to be there's reasons why I'm saying no. And it's a disappointment, but I can help you connect to somebody who you can probably also click with, or will also be better suited for you, or whatever. And I think it's the same in real interaction, like meet space interaction versus online interaction. I don't think there's that much of a difference, except for maybe online it's a little bit easier to have that certain layer of, we're not face to face. I don't have to get rejected face to face. I can get, softly let down through the interface of the, internet. Fergus, you got your hand up.
Oh no, I'm not trying to cut you off. I have another thing to add.
No. Yeah, you got a thought. Go for it.
I stole this idea from Sir Colonel Ian McTavish. There was a big meeting at a 12th night out here in the West Kingdom, and the words he used were perfect. And I think it lends to this, the fact that you got to cast your own shadow. And if you have the balls to go up and talk to somebody, even if they say, I don't think we're going to be right, they're going to remember that shit, right? So that's part of it too, is being able to be like, you know what? I'm going to test the waters, right? And I'm not saying that if you don't test the waters, you're not going to make it very far. What I'm saying is, just do it, right? The worst thing they can say is no.
Exactly. That is exactly what I was going to say. The worst thing they can say is no. And here's my little story. About a year ago or so, I approached somebody that, look at me, like doing it the traditional Western way, the Laurel approaching someone that they wanted to apprentice. And this person was like kicking ass, like literally in my specific area, which is a very like weird little niche area. And I walked up to her and I was like, I don't know if you've had other offers, but I would really, really think that, I think that we could do magical, wonderful things together. Like, I think you're doing amazing things. I want to be a part of this like glorious ride that you're on. And she looked at me and very, very maturely, because she was significantly younger than me, she very maturely says, well, I don't really know where I'm going to be in a year from here. I'm about ready to go away to university in another country. I don't know that when I graduate, I'm going to be coming back to the West Coast. I need to go wherever the jobs are, that kind of thing. She's like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to come back. And I can't make that, kind of alliance in this unknown situation. And I was like, oh, fuck, girl, you totally nailed that. Like, you, so mature of you, so mature, so emotionally. I had nothing but mad respect. But at the same time, I was also like,
yeah.
And but I also thought to myself, and I think I did tell her at the time, I'm like, regardless of that, I'm happy to help you. I'm happy to give you any guidance that I possibly can, even though you're like rapidly approaching my level of skill and knowledge. but if you ever want to like talk to me about anything or want my help on anything, like please just know that I'm a resource. And maybe she'll reconsider someday, who knows, but that I got turned down, and it wasn't fun, but it was also a very like valid reasons for saying no, and gotta respect that. You gotta really respect that.
I think I know who you're talking about, and yes, she is uber fucking badass. Like,
I know you probably do.
fuck.
Most Westies will know exactly who I'm talking
Oh
about.
God, dude. Ooh. Like her and Sylvie would sit down and talk, and I'm like, I'm out. I have no fucking clue what's going on.
Yeah, and
My dumbass.
the funniest part of it is that she completely reminds me of me at like the age of 22. I'm all, oh my God, all intensity, all knowledge, all like oozing, just radiating talent and things, and about ready to explode out of her own skin. And so I looked at her and I'm just like, I completely understand this. give it 20 years. It'll die down a little bit. yeah. So I don't think
proper Southern gentleman. I'm drinking out of a mason jar.
Look at you. You are a proper Southern gentleman.
Just saying, y'all.
So Helga, you got your hand
Put your hand down.
No, I'm the host of this fucking show. I will kick your
Oh fuck! There it is.
I'm sorry. I can mute you.
She is the host, actually, of the show.
Yeah. So
She's hosting.
There's so many people that want that power.
Yeah.
There's so many people that want that power.
Anyway, Helga, you raised your hand. What were you going to?
So I'm just gonna say also, the internet has changed how we can have relationships with our students.
Yep.
And we used to have a very traditional, it needed to be face to face, and I think that is dying off. Like my first squire is a distant squire. He lives down in Arizona, and we exchange videos and talk all the time and just BS back and forth about topics. And it's like he's at events with me, and then we travel to see each other and train, and he's probably getting as much FaceTime with me in distance as he would being close. And so I'll say is don't be afraid of having long distance relationships. If you really, really click with a peer or a student, there are ways around that relationship. The internet solves a lot of problems.
I fucking completely agree. Right? With the things that we've learned because of this fucking plague, understand, oh my God, there's so much shit out there. Don't fucking pigeonhole yourself into some bullshit thing. If there's somebody like Duke Sean, like let's be honest, Duke Sean, that fucking dude, like wow. Fighting knowledge, all the bullshit, boom, right? Like fucking ask that guy. Right? Havek's another one. He don't talk to fucking nobody and say, hey, about this fighting thing. And then he won't shut up. Like seriously. Like
I remember the first time that Havek said more than like, monosyllabic responses to me, and I was blown away by that.
That's the thing, is we have the access now. We have learned that we have access to so fucking much. And if we let that die after this bullshit is over, I'm going to be pissed.
I don't think it will. So with that, do we want to go to the next question? Because we can totally go down this rabbit hole further, but we should probably
at least stick to some of the questions.
We're literally only question number 8 in, and we're bridging an hour and a half.
Yeah, but we knew this was going to happen, Helga.
Yeah, I know. We all knew this is how this
I warned you.
All right. So this one is also from Lux, because man, did she throw down this
Holy crap! How about we have the Lux show?
At some point, that is going to happen.
I was going to say, like, I'm pro Lux. She's rad.
Yeah. So from Lux, achieving knighthood seems to be something more focused on tournament fighting than war fighting, especially in the West. What role do you feel war fighting should play in one achieving knighthood? And once knighted, what is a knight's role and responsibility on the war field?
Oh my dear God, you are talking to the fucking poster child.
MG.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Lux, love you to death. Right here. Don't get me wrong. In my time in the SCA, I have grown to become more accustomed and enjoy tournament fighting. But I'm a fucking war dog. Like I have been a war dog since day one. I love smashing people. I love the whole bit. And you are right in the understanding that it seems that way, right? And I'm going to be honest, in my opinion, it is a faster route because it is easier to see an individual's prowess when you can focus on their prowess, right? When you can focus on that thing, because as a knight, we are the prowess-based peerage. Ooh, almost lost that word. We are the prowess-based peerage. Everything else was for us is very important, but at least for me, if you can't reach my level of prowess where I have my bar, I don't give a shit about anything else. Like that's minimum bar, and then after that, I'm willing to talk about you. Now that being said, I'm a war fighter. I look at the whole bit. I love war fighting, and that's where I feel that, not trying to toot my own horn or anything else like that, but that's where I feel I excel. It's not that my killing of people on the field, but my use of tools, which tend to be other human beings, to do jobs, right? I won, and this is me tooting my own horn, and I'm sorry, I won.
All about you, baby.
I, with using my friends, won 2 full scenarios at a West-on-Tier war in less than 30 seconds for both scenarios. I had a Duke and everybody going, Fergus, we'd like to fight. And I had to look at these 2 Dukes and go, maybe y'all should fucking run faster, right? And I was unbelt at that point, right? So understand that the war route tends to be longer, but it is just as rewarding. If you want to be a war fighter and that's what you love, be the war fighter. Fight tournaments not because they are necessary, but because you want to. And understand that not everybody is going to be a knight, and that's okay. It's not about wearing one of these things, right? It's not about that at all. It is about being knightly. Some of the best advice I ever got is it's not about being a knight on Saturday on the tournament field, because that's when it's fucking easy. That's when everybody expects it. It's about being a knight on Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the morning at 7-Eleven. Are you knightly then, right? And if you're not, then you're not knightly. If it's a joke, if it's something you do on the weekends and you say fuck everybody on Tuesday, then you know what? You can kiss my ass, right? If you're knightly, then you're knightly, and wherever you do that, boom, that's perfect. But be knightly all the time. And if you never get to wear one of these belts, understand that that's beautiful, and I'll tell you why. Because when I was a squire and when I was an unbelt, it was amazeballs, because I could fuck up and nobody would see it, right? Now that I got this thing, and now that I wear these, now that I wear my spurs, I don't have that choice. I have to do the right thing. So understand that it's okay. Do your thing, love it. If you love fighting in tournaments, be that fucking tournament person and whoop everybody's ass single combat. If you love wars, be that war guy and do that. If you love both, fine. Fuck everybody, right? But do you, 100%, and fuck the belt, fuck the chain, enjoy you.
I love you. I just really... Fergus, you're rad.
And cheers to all the fucking unbelts and all the people that just love doing shit. Boom!
I kind of mic dropped earlier with my lipstick, just so you know. So my answer to this question is I don't have a dog in this race. I'm not a knight. I'm not on the knightly path at all whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. What's interesting about it, though, is something I didn't understand until very recently, which is that there is a differentiation between people who fight in wars, who feel that they are called to the war, the battlefield, versus people who fight in tournaments. I, in my naivete, just thought everybody in armor did armor stuff, right? It wasn't until I started dating the guy I'm dating that I was like, oh, wait, there's a difference, because he is very upfront about the fact that he is a war knight. He is a guy who goes out on the battlefield and represents his kingdom, and it's the highest thing that, form of how does he say it? God, I'm butchering it right now. Kelly, if you're up there, you can chime in on the comments.
That is where I'll jump in for him. That is where you do your work for your kingdom.
Your
That
work
is your
for kingdom, yeah, it's the
kingdom.
highest. It's kind of the highest form of like, in his opinion, where you can show your gratitude and like, give back to your kingdom, I think is what the words he used was. And I was just like, here's me at a war, I don't know what's happening, I'm having fun, yay, whatever, like, oh, there's fighting happening, cool, right? Like, I, as a member of the populace, had like no idea people were actually taking the field for me. That was the weird like mind fuck where I was like, huh, weird. I didn't realize that people walk out there in armor wanting to do honor to the kingdom, not honor to their consort or be victorious in a list. It's do honor to their kingdom. What the hell where have I been for 27 and a half years? This has been happening for the longest time, and I just now clued into it. And I think to kind of flip it a little bit, and I'm going to flip it into my own peerage, which I can talk more about, is that it's similar to the candidates that are competing in competitions versus the candidates that teach or that hold like kind of like one-on-one types of demonstrations or interactions with one another or with other members of the populace. And it's much harder. It is actually much harder if you're doing a much more low key, like one-on-one kind of a thing versus this big, like, I won this amazing prize. I was the first person, first prize. So that's kind of the tournament style. That's the tournament style where I won first prize. I won, I got to be king or prince or princess or whatever, like that. That's hard to ignore. But when you're having like that interaction with just more personal with the populace, it does take a little bit more time. I'm all about both. I think both should count. I think both are important and both are valued. But I cannot, not sitting on that council, make any sort of like blanket statement other than, you enjoy warfighting. Well, fuck, go you. You enjoy tournament fighting. Awesome. Good for you. Both should count. And with that, I am going to visit the little Tulia's room because I have broken the seal, which is, as in time-honored tradition, a thing. Helga, if you would like to answer.
And she gone.
Zoom. All right, so answering this question, I think a knight should be lethal with anything. That includes sword and board on the tournament field. That includes any other weapon they choose on the tournament field. That includes what they walk on with the to the war field with. I actually, as a knight, look at how candidates perform in war. Probably a little heavier than my brothers, because minus Fearghus. And probably Thorfinn, actually, because one of the things that I did as an unbelt was run a war unit, which Fearghus was a part of, which was really weird, because he was a knight and I was still a squire, but I was in charge. It was great.
Oh, she was bossy as fuck.
And so where I think that we do not actually make enough war, in quote, knights. Especially on the West Coast, we are very heavily leaned towards tournament, and we lose the idea of leadership in war. And this is going to be the thing: is you can be a spear god that doesn't make you knightly, by the way. And so part of the thing is we need to understand the difference between being good at what we do and being peer-like, or being knightly, or being a pelican, a laurel, mod, any of that. There is a difference at being good at a skill and being a peer. And so if you're really just nuclear good on the war field and you suck in the tournament field, but you're a peer, you should probably still be a fucking knight. And so that's my thing. Once you are knighted, you are in fealty to your king. If you can afford to travel, you should. Go fight on the war field. Go represent your kingdom. Follow your king. He is there in battle. You should be also. And this is my take on it. This does not apply to other people. They take their fealty in a different way. I go to war with my king as a knight because he says we are going to war, so we go. That's my take. Fergus apparently has feelings.
Yes, I completely agree with that. I have terms, right? There are knights and there are stick jocks, right? And I'll be the first one to say it. And I'm going to get a bunch of flack from my fucking brothers, and I'm going to get kicked in the nads, and I don't give a fuck, right? We got knights, we got stick jocks, people that are fucking gods. But at the same instance, like Helga said, they're good at one thing. They're a one-trick pony, and they're not here to support their kingdom. Fuck that. If my king is on the field, I'm on the field, minus injury, right? Other than that, it comes down to the fact that do what you love, right? And if your love is the war field, fucking be the war dog, right? If your love is the tournament field, be the tournament god, right? But just be it and love it and understand that you're going to pull people to you that believe in the same thing and nurture it. Nurture it all.
Yep. And Fergus, a better way to put it is there is the knighted and there is the knighted and there is the knightly.
Yes. Oh God. Yeah. Oh my God. See, one of us was the teacher a long time ago. I think those roles have switched.
Well, she learned from you. She learned it from
laid a
watching
very
you.
good foundation down.
No. I'm about a builder of foundations and then run because it's probably going to catch fire.
All right, we ready for the next question?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, I guess that's me. This is from Ciara. Assuming that you have all had the misfortune of trying it, in your own words, how would each of you describe Malort? If you have not, what is the worst drink you have shared with a friend?
The Black Death. Fuck the Swedes. Fuck the Swedes.
So the Swedes are a total thing. For those who don't know Western wars. Not West Kingdom Wars, West Coast Wars. The Swedes are a thing, and they come out and they fuck with us hard.
So I went to Pinzik, and I'll tell you right now, if you go to West Kingdom camp at Pinzik, there is a dead piece of grass, right? It's about this fucking big around, and it's because of the Swedes, right? They brought over this shit. It's called the Black Death. What they do is they take the nastiest fucking black hard candy licorice you can find and the cheapest vodka known to it's probably still potato, right? It's horrid. And they mix this shit to where it becomes this sludge of hell and angry. And they say, you should try this. I can go get right now over here the bottle they gave me. It's the original bottle, right? I had went out on the warfield that day at Pinzik, had a great time. The Swedes met me, and we had a wonderful day, right? And I'm going to tell you right now, the Swedes are gods when it comes to spears. Like, they are an angry fucking porcupine meant to kill everyone, right? But we had a great day, and so that night with West Kingdom Party, I'm partying my ass off. At that point, I am the king's liver because the king didn't drink, and that fucking skinny little son of a bitch, right? I love the guy to death. His Mark, he was like, hey, you're going to be my stunt liver. I had a baldric and everything, right? So, and I can show you the baldric. I'm drunk off my ass, and then the Swedes show up, right? It is horrid, right? This stuff is horrid. So yes, it is called the Black Death. If you get it offered to you, try it. Trust me, unless you like black licorice, and I'm talking the hardcore black licorice, you're going to be like, oh, dear God, that's horrid. Can I have a little more? Right there. Boom. I'm out. Like, and I've drank shit that glowed. And this was horrid. It was worse. It glowed in the dark.
Helga?
Fergus, your queen, who you are champion for, would like you to remember that she likes Black Death and that we will be drinking it with her.
I love you, Your Majesty, and I will service my queen. Oh, wait a minute. Service. Ooh. I will serve my queen in any way I can. And I'm going to call out my co-champion, who is Helga right now. Check it out, yo. Boom. Where's yours? Show it. Show it. Show it. Oh, you don't have it. That's right. Still the best fucking champion. I'm out.
You're not the best champion. I'm sorry. Who's still fighting right now?
That's fucking cheating because you sequestered 200 fucking fighters in your goddamn house. That's bullshit. I call bullshit.
Hey, Fergus, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Oh, okay. All right. I talked to that one too. All right. All right, I got fucking used on me.
No, don't do that. Nope. Can we call time on that one? Don't cheat in COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, she's not.
Okay,
She's
whoa, whoa,
not
whoa.
working
Do
with me.
not break the bubble. Like,
Yeah, don't break the bubble. Don't break the bubble. But so my answer is I've never had Malort. And it actually sounds like something I'd like.
Oh, no. Okay, hang on. I haven't answered yet, and I'm going to say
Oh.
that Malort is actually the fucking worst shit that I have ever put in my mouth, and I keep drinking it with the Wobbly H Boys, because as a franchisee, we all reinitiate each other all the fucking time. That shit is terrible. Like, it is like licking pine tar mixed with diesel fuel.
My own lady of the lake brings this in.
So I honestly have never had it. I didn't even know what it was until this question was posed. And then my boyfriend had to tell me what it was. But I actually, it sounds kind of good. I like European, Scandinavian licorice and diesel. So
Yeah,
No,
that's what it is.
like Malort,
But it's not an American diesel,
it
because
doesn't
American
even have
diesel
a
is
waft of licorice.
so
It is literally like if you took a pine cone, like the full pine cone, and you put it in a blender and you blended that and you added diesel fuel and then some other terrible like botanical mix. Like if you took a fucking
balls,
1950s woman's perfume and you poured
sweaty
it in there
balls.
for fucking flavor. That is what Malort is.
That made it
Don't
better.
ever drink that shit.
I'd be willing.
Yeah.
You have to.
I'd be willing to try. So, but my answer to this is actually I've had many years ago. Well, not many years, a few years ago. It was within like the last like 5 years.
Math is hard.
I used to do a private Renaissance fair, invite only, and one of the things that we would do in this activities was like a competition on like drinks, like kind of like brewing or cordials and whatnot. But one year someone made homemade ouzo, and I happen to really like absinthe and also ouzo, and the homemade stuff was basically lighter fluid, and nobody could drink that except for me and this one other guy, another reenactor friend of mine. And we had the best weekend, really ridiculously drunk on this god awful concoction that should never have existed ever. So I mean that I don't like sweet things. I don't like sweet liqueurs. I don't like the like cloying specialty stuff. Like my Thorfinn is really into Baron Jaeger, and I find that ridiculously cloying. Every time I'm just like trying to drink it. I like the stuff that literally will singe your eyebrows. So I could totally keep drinking that, and probably will. And Katrina's giving me hearts in the background on that. So her and I, we get each other. All right, next question.
Oh, I got locked myself in a privy because of absinthe.
I
And
would
my
like to,
re- my
I would like
reasoning
to
was-
note, Fergus, that story's coming up.
Okay, then I won't tell it. But I had a reason, and it was for everybody.
That story has to occur here.
Bring it! Let's go. Fucking raccoons and logs. And...
Oh, I promise that's coming up. Like, I could not do a show without mentioning you locking yourself in a privy and raccoons.
You know what? People are mentioning the Flaming Green Dragon. I actually really like that drink.
Oh my god, I like them too.
I just
anything that will catch your face on fire is a bad deal.
I don't trust myself not to light my esophagus on fire because I almost did that one time.
Do you realize how fast all this hair would fucking go up? Like I would be Michael Jackson in a Pepsi commercial. Like this would be bad.
Yeah.
Like shit.
Okay.
No, fire.
Let's move on to the
next question comes from James Christoph.
Oh, fuck that guy. He broke his face on a fucking manhole cover riding a bike. He wrecked a car in a parking lot where he was getting the car fixed from the last wreck. I don't want to hear shit from that guy.
Well, too bad. You don't have a choice.
God damn it.
So this one comes from James Christoph, just to watch your face again. What is your personal favorite hold my beer, watch this moment. Either mundane or SCA.
So, wait a minute. What time is it? Oh, that's right. It's after the time kids should be in bed. So, mundane. Just to be clear, and I hope Sean is watching and not Sean. Up my no shit there I was stories has to do with Gunther, because that dude was an instigator. So we would go up to his house and we'd have what we call triple Bs, right? Where we get up there and it's booze, boobs, and bullets, right? We go shoot stuff because you can't drink when you're shooting because we're very safe, rednecks. Then we would drink, and then maybe everyone's always hit boob, right? Like whatever. We needed another B is what it was. So we're all sitting at Gunther's kitchen table like this, right? Now, mind you, I wish I had a picture. It is a full-size, 6 foot long, 3 foot wide kitchen table, and you could not see the table for the beer bottles that we had drank. Right, myself and Gunther and one other person was sitting like this on the table because we were drunk. Sean was talking shit, and we were all talking shit, having a great time. And I'm sitting there, I'm drunk off my ass, I'm like this. And all of a sudden I look over, and I see an ass. And I'm like, it's a naked ass. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, and I look over, and there's a Guinness bottle right in front of me with a cap on. Now, mind you, it's not like a full-on cap, right? I was opening them, and I stick the caps back on and put them in front of me. So I look over, and I'm like, huh? And I look over, and I reach over, and I grab this bottle, and I go, doink! Like, Sean goes, oh! Like, and whenever I pull the bottle back, the cap is gone. Gone. And I'm like, I said, hey, huh! Right. And so, yes, there you go. How you like that one? You didn't think it was going down that fucking rabbit hole, did you? Boom! Open the bottle and another man's ass. I'm out. Right? Who gets to follow that shit?
Sassy gets to follow
and
that.
I don't have one.
Boom!
I don't have anything to follow this because I lead a very normal, repressed existence, apparently.
Problem is, at that time in my life, that was normal.
See a lot of shit. I've just never done any of it. I mean, and anything that comes near, like seen anything that comes near that level. Helga.
I mean, okay. So
Did you see the white flag go? I'm out. I gotta go.
I'm like literally like, yeah, find my little white flag. I'm done.
I'm not sure I have opening a beer bottle, even though I cheated and pre-opened it in another man's ass. Like I have done the galloping a horse through a camp at like 11 o'clock at night.
That was hilarious as shit.
Yeah, that was you want to talk about Viking raids? I've done those at high velocities, motherfucker. Hold my beer, watch this. I mean, I am James's friend and like bestie, so that's pretty much a hold my beer, watch this, because he's gonna break himself in some really, really fucking weird way.
Manhole cover on a bicycle.
Yeah, shattered his face on a manhole cover. I mean, I've hung out with Fearghus basically my entire memory.
That just means you got a fucked up picker. Don't fucking blame that shit on me.
Hey,
that's all
I
you
think
do.
I turned out okay, asshole. I'm trying to, like, I can't beat that beer story. I mean,
I don't think that we can. I don't think there is one.
I mean, the only thing that I can be like, hold my beer, watch this, is I literally waited for Fearghus and Gunther to walk through the gate before breaking that goat's neck because I knew it would freak them out. But like that story's been overtold, so I can't use that.
I have a couple of like hold my champagne stories.
Ooh, no,
I like those. Those are the best ones because you're like, oh, here, hold my champagne.
I mean, well, like they're not, but none of them are like particularly crazy. That's the thing. It's like it's not spectacularly weird, but like no shit, there I was in the Hall of Mirrors at Versailles in full 18th century garb with my like of all time drunk on champers. Like
I'm gonna do that.
Oh god, girl,
I want to do that.
I got you the hookup. Yeah, if you could get tickets to Paris, like we can do this.
Gone. So like holy shit.
So my friend and I are, we're both she's in a similar academic discipline to what my graduate studies were in, art history. And so we're in the Hall of fucking Mirrors, the Hall of Mirrors. Like we keep walking around like we're in the Hall of Mirrors. Oh my God. Like tiny brains exploded. All the history, like Marie Antoinette, like, oh my God, can we find some guy to shag us against a wall? Because that would be hot. Like, that would just cap like everything. Instead, I ended up making out with my best friend because, you know, somebody had to get made out with, and it was going to be Tristan and me. So whatever. But I ended up with her black.
That guy's like, oh, I'll jump on that grenade.
No, not a guy. Tristan's a girl.
And, yeah.
We were both like, okay, so our significant others were with us, and we're like, yeah, but it's not the same when it's who you came with. So we just look at each other at one point. We like, throw.
That's my fucking drinking buddy.
And she was wearing black lipstick because she's goth as fuck, and I got black lipstick all over my face. It was amazing. But the best part in the Hall of Mirrors was me and my friend Leia. And we were just like fucking freaking out about the history and everything. And we're drunk AF at this point. And I get this idea because what I like to do when I go to a significant historical site, particularly cathedrals, European cathedrals mostly, is I like to lay on the floor and look at the ceiling. And I am that weirdo that will, in fact, lay on the floor and look at the ceiling. And now what you may not understand about the Hall of Mirrors, which is a building that was built in the 17th century, and it's very like high Rococo, Baroque actually, very high Baroque style, is that you see the mirrors, you see the big hall, you see like the wood floor, the parquetry, all that stuff. You don't see that the fact that the ceiling is like, it's about 200 feet worth of frescoes on the ceiling that you never fucking see. So me and my friend were like, well, fuck this, we got to lay down. So we literally were like, hold our champagne. We're going to like lay on the floor in the middle of the Hall of Mirrors while all these people in 18th century garb are like milling around trying to have their like experience. And me and my idiot friend and I are all like, and we did this. And as soon as we lay down, then up comes this very French docent, because they're of course not going to allow all of us American motherfuckers in costume in without some supervision. And the French docent looks at us and goes, ladies, please. And we laughed and we got up, and that was my story. That was my hold my champagne story of laying down in the Hall of Mirrors and looking at the frescoes on the ceiling. And I no fucking regrets. Okay.
I'm over fucking jealous.
Amazing, but it was my amazing.
Are you fucking kidding me? That would be fucking badass.
I've done that twice. I've gone to the Fête Gallant.
I fucking hate you. God damn it. I want to do that now.
Do it. Come on. I want to get.
I'm not going to look as good in the dress.
No, but I'll make, no, you I don't even have to make it. Your lady is an amazing seamstress. She can make you an amazing thing, and we can all go together and have fun in Paris.
Fucking done.
Yeah. Okay. So, all invited.
So, one, I totally want to do that with you. Two, I now have a no shit there I was story that involves James, Fearghus, and Gunther.
Oh, for fuck's sake. It's like the 4 fucking musketeers and none of us are fucking any one of the cool ones.
Fuckery. I would like to note that this is mundane because it involves his wedding, i.e. James's wedding.
Oh, dear God.
I just want to mention.
Is this when you choke slam the dude in the truck?
No, I wasn't actually going to bring up the choke.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Fucking.
The Queen just texted me and said she wants to come to Versailles with us too. So
I'm down with that.
And Katrina's like, pick me.
Yeah. So we're going to skip past me choke slamming a dude into a truck aggressively a couple times.
I got a story of James's wedding too, but I'll fucking tell that in a minute.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the story of no shit there I was. I ripped Fergus's pectoral muscles off of his
fuck that shit, they're fucking goats.
Yeah. So
bullshit.
We're at this wedding and they have these beautiful ornate bouquets and like things in the middle of everywhere. And you have a bunch of drunken fighters. All of us playing the good game. So we're running around this entire
people got fucking bruised.
Yeah, we're running around this entire wedding, and at this point in time, I am very much so in that I'm ripped, and I'm hanging out with my fighter friends, and we are playing to the pain.
Okay, I'm gonna break it real quick. The good game is you run up to your friend and you slap them on the ass so fucking hard, right? And you say "good game," and they can't fucking hit you back. They gotta find somebody else.
Yep.
I don't understand this violence, but okay.
Yeah.
Oh
So
dear God!
no, this
Ooh.
is like the fighter mating call. This is like when you get a bunch of young stallions all together, and you know how they like play fight until they actually have any mares. None of us had any game, so we just flirted with each other
I
through
love you.
violence.
You're so
And so like we're running around and playing this game, and fucking Gunther ups the ante, and he snatches one of these little wooden dowels.
That was me. No, fuck that. That was me because that was after Gunther got me in the bathroom while I was in there going to the bathroom and took the Febreze thing, the with the and just while I was in the fucking urine, while I was in the thing, just and smoked me out and then threw a bowl of potpourri and hit me in the fucking face. Right, like while I was on the toilet, it came over the top of the stall or whatever. Bang! No, that was me.
Okay,
I
so-
don't know every fucking bit of this.
Fearghus ups the ante on this and gets one of these fucking sticks. Also,
You need to fucking armed around these fucking people.
Star backstory, open bar where the mother of the bride told us, "You're the groomsman. You can't have anything from the bar. You're all to stay sober."
But I was kicked out of the groomsman group, so I could drink whatever the fuck I wanted.
So Fearghus would go to the bar.
This is bullshit.
And get, oh yeah, no, this entire wedding was a shit show. It was amazing. And so Fearghus would go to the bar and order 4 drinks, and then run back to us. And then we'd all slam them, and he'd go back to the bar. So by the time this is all
The look on the bartender's face was classic. He's like, I don't know if this is okay. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm not in
so
a fucking wedding
we're
party.
now
Oh, it is so okay.
shithouse aggressively drunk. And so Fearghus is now whacking people with his stick in the good game.
It's a fucking little dowel. It's like a quarter inch, and it's fucking flat snapping the fucking shit out of people.
And so he fucking nails me across both cheeks. Like, good God, I have hit people softer in a BDSM scene than that fucking man hit me. And my brain goes, kill it. And so I turned like the Predator and just put my fingers underneath the muscles of his pecs and then closed my hands. And
Now,
then,
mind you, she thought she was doing this. She thought she was grabbing my shirt. Like, no, she was grabbing human. Like, human.
and then in drunk strength, apparently I turn into the little mini Hulk.
I'm
in
400
his
pounds.
hands. I proceed to pick Fearghus up by his pectoral muscles and just basically hold him here like this and look at him and go, "Give me the stick." And
Now,
he
mind
is
you,
now-
I was like, I wanted to, but I couldn't move my fucking arms because she was ripping my pectoral muscles off my chest. I'm like, I want to, but I can't. I can't move my arms.
Well, and at this point, the only sound that he's making is, you know, when you take the plug out of an air mattress and then you lay on it and it goes. That's the sound he is making. Well, I am just hanging on to him, and he is making the sound, and all my brain does is go, shake him, and maybe he'll let go of the stick. So now I have his pectoral muscles in my closed fists and just start shaking him until his brain somehow figures out how to open his hand. And then I take the stick, and then all hell happens. Like, at this point in time, it has broken out to insanity in this
The
wedding.
blessing was there was another stick, and I knew about it. I'm like, fuck that. Helga doesn't get to be armed, and me not be armed.
It was
No,
a war
I
of
got those sticks.
escalation. So that's my no shit. There I was. Story at my best friend's wedding as one of the best man. When I ripped Fergus's pectoral muscles off of his chest
Not
over
cool.
the fact that he had a wooden dowel that he hit me with.
Not cool.
So
Well, not cool. Still, I still don't think I can put my hands above my head too long because that shit still hurts.
yeah, there was, and then it was like the next 6 months where I'd walk by and just threaten him. It was great.
There
I've
you go.
never seen
Yeah.
such a big man like huddle away from a small chick before.
If you've never had your fucking pectoral muscles ripped from your fucking chest, blessing on you, because that shit sucked ass.
I was about to say, I apparently was a little strong at that point in my life.
Not a little.
So I just want to let everyone know I posted photos of the Versailles incident on the Facebook page for Between Two Peers, so you can go watch it and the reenactment that happened 2 years later.
I'm super jealous of your like champagne. I want to have more like no shit there I was with champagne stories with you.
Oh, God, go hard.
Can I be that too? I'll be like the weird uncle. I'm fine with
You're
that.
not the weird uncle. You're like a legit kind of like, mensch. You're like
apparently
you're like in it with me.
By the way, we've said fuck 140 times.
I think they weren't counting
Really?
some of my fucks. I think I gave a lot more fucks than people counted because I was watching that count go, and I'm like, I think they're only counting Fergus's fucks. Not
We're all about
They're
free
counting all three of our
fucking,
fucks.
right? Like everybody gets to fuck.
So we're gonna go to the last question of the night, and then we'll see how many people want to hang on for answering the questions that were submitted.
Okay, so this one is from Asa.
I gotta be. Oh Jesus! All right, hold on. I gotta get ready.
You're in for a thing here. Uncle Fergus, tell us a story.
Is it just any story?
Any story. Whatever.
There's one that
voting for
everybody wants, right? It's the one that I'm known for the whole bit, right?
Okay.
And so I will do this. I will do this.
Are there any raccoons in it?
Yes.
Yes.
There is a disclaimer that I must give before giving this story. It is very, very important. And the blessed thing is I now have proof. If you go to Sir Heinrich von Melf, or I'm sorry, Viscount Sir Heinrich von Melf, or Viscount Sir Gunther Barnjager, they have both actually met my father, half of my gene pool, right? And have gotten the same story from him. I didn't like prod it or anything. My father just told the story. So if you have any questions of whether this is true, please go see them. As a young child, I was raised in Mississippi. I love the state of Mississippi outside of the bullshit that everybody sees. It was wonderful being raised as a child there. But it was very interesting. I was raised very poor. So we really had to work for everything we got, which is fine. And I'm not asking for anybody's sympathy. I wouldn't have it any other way. But the story starts very simply. My mother, my brother, and myself are sitting in the front of our house in standard Southern wear for the middle of July, which is you're sitting in your house under the air conditioning in your underwear because it's fucking hot. It is hot at like 9 o'clock at night, and it's muggy and it's fucking humid and everything is sweating. And at fucking 8, I didn't know I had balls, but they were fucking sweating, right? Like it was fucking horrible, right? Now my father, who looked like, I don't know, this, right, could be a jokester. So we're all sitting in the house, and my dad comes bursting in the front door, right, carrying a log. And when I say a log, I mean a chunk of wood. There were 3 holes in the log. In one end, there was a fucking jacket stuffed in one end. There was a fucking jacket stuffed in the other, and there was a t-shirt stuffed in the third one. And my dad comes in the house, and when a man looking like me comes in the house giggling and going, I got something for you, run! Just fucking run, right? Like, seriously, leave, right? So at this point, I'm like, this is not going to be good because I know my dad, right? So he lays this log in the front room of the house. He's giggling, right? So I'm watching it. My brother's watching it. My mom's watching it. He reaches down. He grabs the jacket on one end of the log and he snatches this fucking jacket out. And when he does, 3 wild raccoons run out of the fucking log, like whoosh, gone over the fucking house, like they're fucking gone. Like one of them runs straight for the fucking door, runs out the fucking door. My dad goes, "That's unfortunate," and runs over and slams the door. Right? So the other 2 can't get the fuck out. I don't understand, right? But runs out of the fucking house. He slams the door. The other one runs into the kitchen. We hear what we think is World War fucking III in the kitchen as pots and pans and shit's getting thrown around. And we're like, what the fuck? And the third one runs over into this corner in the front room and runs up the fucking wall, slides back down and is in the corner, right? Now, mind you, my dad is a big man. He is super fucking strong. He is laughing, like to the point of almost tears in his face laughing, as my mother, myself, and my brother are all in our fucking, like standing in chairs like, oh God, right? And this fucking raccoon is in the corner. Like, it is fucking huge. Like, it is so angry, there is lightning bolts jumping between its fucking hairs on its body. Now, mind you, the one thing you don't do in your life, fuck with something that's got thumbs, right? Like, that's a rule. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care about anything else, like speed, run people over. I don't give a fuck. Don't fuck with shit with thumbs. Don't do it, right? So my dad's on the floor, laughing, right? This is funny. My mom yells at my dad, Vernon? Hey, my dad, huh? He goes, you better do something with that goddamn raccoon, right? Now, my mom don't cuss. She said goddamn. I remember as a kid. Remember, right? My dad, boy, if you're a Southern male, you don't have a name until you fight your father full on in the front yard. Your name is boy, right? Just how it is, deal with it. So he goes, boy, and I'm like, yes, sir. Go out to my shop and get me my welding gloves. I sit there for a minute. I'm like, something about to get fucked up. I'll be right back. So I run out in the fucking front yard, full on in my underwear, tighty whities, to the fucking shop. I get these welding gloves. Come black. They're these asbestos welding gloves. They come down to here. My dad puts them on. Now, mind you, my dad is in jeans, a white t-shirt with his cigarettes rolled up in the fucking sleeve, and welding gloves. He looks at this raccoon that is still in the corner, right? He gets like this, welding gloves on. Starts sneaking up on this thing. I'm like, Dad, it can fucking see you. You're not real fucking sneaky.
It's
right?
got thumbs.
Right? He's sneaking over to this fucking thing. When he gets close enough, I see this. Whoosh! As his hands go into the fur. Now, mind you, a raccoon is like a cat with a shit ton of fur. So it looks like it's this big, but literally the body is this fucking big. So there's this much space you got to fucking clear, right? His hands go in. This raccoon spins and grabs a hold of one of his fucking hands with thumbs. Pulls his hand towards his fucking mouth and goes, ha! Bites through the welding glove on my dad's index finger. Boom! Right? Like the teeth go through the glove, through the finger. If you have not seen, now I tell you, go back in time, you'll look for a Mickey Mouse cartoon. It's way back when, and it's when Pluto found crabs, right? Like he was on the beach, he found these crabs, and one of them fucking bit him, and he's like this. Yes. That was my father with a fucking full-size raccoon on his finger. Like, I am fucking done. I'm reviewing my life going, that's half my gene pool right there. I am so screwed. Like, what the fuck? But he, and he goes, whoosh! And this fucking raccoon flies off his finger, hits the wall. I reach over like this and I grab the door and I throw the fucking front door open. The raccoon runs out the front door. My dad looks at me. He rips this thing off. He's fucking bleeding. I'm like, I am so screwed genetically. I am. Like, this is horrible. Like, this is bullshit, right? So the night gets quiet, right? Like, we're done. My dad's bleeding. We fucking bandage him up, right? This is not the first time. So everybody thinks everything's fucking cool, right? Oh, wait a minute. Did anybody fucking forget about the fucking raccoon that went in the kitchen? I didn't. Get up in the morning, right? Get up in the morning. I go in the kitchen, right? Because I'm always early riser. Go in there. I'm like, I'm hungry. So walk in there, grab me a fucking bowl. I'm gonna have me some cereal. Put it on the fucking counter. Grab me a spoon. Get the milk out. Fucking sit it on the counter. I walk over to the fucking walk over to the cabinet. I open the cabinet. Here's a fucking wild raccoon in the cabinet eating my cereal with thumbs. I'm like, oh! It goes. I slam the fucking door. I hear inside the fucking thing. Runs up in the fucking attic. Right? I'm like, holding the door shut, like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Right? Because I saw what happened last night with the fucking thumb issue. Right? It got quiet. I slowly open the thing. Raccoon's gone. I reach up, I grab a box of cereal. I'm like, oh, fucking raccoon ate out of that one. Oh, he didn't eat out of this one. I poured myself a fucking bowl of cereal, ate the one the raccoon didn't fucking eat. For 4 fucking years, there was a raccoon that lived in my goddamn attic. And you could hear it every night. all around the fucking attic, right? That was my childhood. Don't give me shit about anything. And rule number one, if it's got fucking thumbs, leave it the fuck alone.
Oh boy. This story does get better every single time you tell it.
There was lightning between it. That fucker was mad. And then 2 years later, we got a pet raccoon. And I would have a pet raccoon to this day. And I'm talking pet raccoon as I was a little kid and I fed it with a little bottle. It was horrible. It was Rachel. She was so cute. My wife told me at a West Ontario War because we were driving down the road and I saw a mother with a bunch of little baby raccoons. And I slammed the car and fucking parked so fast that the transmission was like, and I jumped out and she's like, don't you bring one back? And I'm like, I didn't hear a thing you said. And I tried to chase him down, but I fucking missed him.
No.
Oh my God.
So we knew this was going to happen. So
my sides hurt right now. I had to mute my mic.
I didn't mute my mic. Sorry.
I'm telling you, as fucking Heinrich and Gunther. My dad told the same fucker. But his story was like, oh my God, there was this time that I brought raccoons in the house.
I just brought them in. I didn't think it would be.
Like it was Wednesday. Like this fucking shit happened every fucking day.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to go with that's a hell of a high note. We've been running for 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah,
We did have a shit ton of questions submitted, though.
Yeah.
I will stay and answer all of them. I don't care. It's up to y'all.
We don't have anything to do. It's tomorrow's Saturday, if that's even a thing.
Okay, so hang on.
Is there days of the week
check
tomorrow?
in with both Katrina and Techromancer. We need thumbs up from you guys if you're willing to keep going.
Techromancer is playing his game.
Yeah, he's totally.
I think he's
came up like 2 hours ago. He fucking took his headphones off. He's like, "Fuck Fergus."
Well,
Okay,
Katrina
and then
gave us the
is-
yes. So
I know that there's about a 20-second lag. We've gone long. We still have 65 people watching, which is insane.
yeah, for right now, yeah.
Do people want us to answer a couple other questions, or like, would you guys all like to fuck?
I
off?
want to answer them.
Yeah, fuck everybody. We're answering. This is for us now. This is for us.
Yeah. You know what?
I would like to note that our
I am the
our
fucking
queen
person
just
that loves
commanded
people.
more stories.
I went out. Like I want people. I will stay on here fucking until sunlight.
So you can't see it. It's our queen. She says more stories.
I will tell you the story about Gunther and his Viking boat. I will tell you the story.
Thorfinn just said yes, please, which I think
taco. No,
I
I'm
think
telling the fucking man taco story.
I think this is kind of a request for maybe a story about Thorfinn. However, I would like just to beg you. I need to go to the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom.
Okay. Can we hold off on the man taco story?
Okay.
Fucking man taco.
Okay.
He did it, and he can't tell the story right.
Okay, so I've got some very specific Fergus questions. So while you're going to pee, I'm going to rapid fire them at him.
Okay, cool. You
do it.
Well, I untangle my hair from my danglies and go.
Okay.
Oh, from her
question
dangling.
Number
Hello.
one, is it pecan or pecan?
It's pecan. I'm Southern.
Okay. Like,
Pecan,
I need you to say that one more time.
Pecan.
Okay, why?
Because it's right, and the rest of you people are fucked up.
Okay.
Bunch of fucking Yankees.
How do you say almond?
Almond.
Okay. Okay, this one comes from Ask a Knights Live. This one will probably actually hang on. Oh, why do you fight with this what looks like a spear in your offhand?
Very simply, I've been fighting for a very long time, and I fought shield, strap, heater for a long time, and then I went to a center grip. I injured my shoulder a while back, and because of that, it was difficult for me to hold my center grip kite, which I love, but it was it got painful. So one, I wanted to change up my fighting style simply because I just wanted something new. And two, because it was less stress on my left hand. So that's why I went with the broken spear. I stole the idea from His Grace Radnor, who fought with a broken lance. I stole the idea from Ragnar, Count Ragnar, who fought with Mr. Orr. I liked it. And it puts less weight on my hand and makes me more active. So that's part of the whole thing that we talked about earlier about what I've learned about fighting and being more mobile. It allowed me to be more mobile and allowed me to move more. Now, mind you, I started fighting that when I was 400 pounds. So it was very painful in the beginning because there was a lot of me to hit and not a lot to block with. So it really focused on that footwork. So that's why I did it, because I knew that's what my fighting needed.
Nice. Okay, so next one. This one comes from Askanites Live. What's your favorite SCA pandemic web show to be on, and why is it Askanites Live?
Because making fun of Logan is so easy. It's like kicking a dead horse. There's not a lot of challenge, and you just, right? It's like, it's just Logan, right? Come on, right? Like, who's not going to pick on that guy? Everybody picks on boogers.
All right, so are you ready for
Take that, Logan, you little bastard.
Are you ready for the heavy hitting one, actually?
Oh, yes.
Okay, this one actually comes from Logan.
Okay.
Has the SCA changed your, quote, Southern values, end quotes, in regards to diversity of the people you encounter?
Oh, for fuck's sake, yes.
Ooh.
In 1986, when I moved out here, I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm not here to blow smoke up people's ass. In 1986, when I moved out here, I was a fucking racist. 100% a racist. I didn't know it, but I was, right? It's because of the where I was brought up and how I was brought up. And I did things, and if you ever sit down with me and you want to ask those questions, I will tell you, right? I got nothing to hide, but I was a racist, and I was an ignorant racist. No, right? The SEA and the core values and all of that made me understand that we're all just fucking people, right? Like, seriously, unless you're a pirate and you got your leg cut off, we all look the fucking same on the inside, right? Like, the only reason you can tell a pirate is they got a peg leg with their skeleton. That's it, right? So if you're a pirate, fuck you, right? No, I'm just kidding.
That's what a pirate looks like. I like you. I love this.
You know, we're all the fucking same, right? We're all there. There's no, and the beauty of everything that we are is in diversity, right? It's in the diversity. It's in the difference. And if you can't see that, then I got to be honest, you're fucking ignorant, right? Understand that you don't have to you don't have to agree with everybody's ideas. You don't have to agree with anything else like that. But what you need to do is respect people for people. And that's something we have lost. So yes, Logan, 100% to the nail. The SCA and the people that I've met have 100% changed who I was. And I'm not going to shy away from who I was. And I'm not going to fucking sit here and lie to people. I was the dick. I was 100% that fucking guy. And that guy was Mark, and fuck that guy, right? I spend every day when I wake up reminding myself, 1, I don't let myself get away with it. 2, I don't let myself fucking forget. I am here to make change. I'm here to make better. And that's my job.
I love you.
I love you too. And
fucking
now
love you.
we're going to ask you about what the fuck is up with the taco.
The man taco story.
Man taco, is Thorfinn listening? Get your little munchkin ass over here, because you can whip my ass every day but Sunday, but this one I got on you.
Yeah, he's upstairs watching. He's watching on the big fancy TV.
Remember the rule that I made. Here you go. I was laying there fucking dead at a West on tier.
And we drink for that.
I've got the bottle now.
So West on
Got mine
tier,
away, so
many, many years ago when I was a lowly fucking squire, right? I'm laying there dead at a West on tier. It's castle battle. Right? Sitting on a fucking hay bale watching this shit going on. Now, mind you, I'm not gonna lie. I have chased fucking Thorfinn's coattails for years. Like, people would ask, my wife asked me, so what do you want to look like? Like, what kind of garb do you want? Stuff like this. I looked at my wife, Laurel, like badassery. And I looked at her straight in the face and I said, I would look like Thorfinn.
never look like Thorfinn.
Just to be clear, like, and this was the time when Thorfinn was doing a lot of the Viking bling stuff.
Yeah. As if he's
like,
not anymore.
A lot of his stuff isn't really period. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I want to look like Thorfinn, right? So I've had a man crush on Thorfinn since Christ was a corporal, right? So I'm laying there dead, watching this whole fucking fight. At Leon, the guy on the West Frontier side, because West Kingdom was inside the castle, they had these fucking walls, right? And they were wooden walls. They had this little seam in the middle, right? This guy at the beginning of the battle, they said, Leon, this guy fucking from Montier runs up as fast as he fucking can. Oh, boom, and dives at the wall and lays down at the wall, right? Now, mind you, he lays down at one of these little seams, right? So you can kind of see his body, right? Thorfinn, who is notoriously kind of, let's say, a little bit late to fighting sometimes, all the time. Anyway, so turns around and goes, oh shit, we're fighting. So he picks up his spear, which he usually kills more people than the fucking plague with that fucking thing, right? Walks up to the wall and he starts fucking firing pike shots. And people are like, and Thorfinn fires this fucking pike shot over this crease. And this set of hands in gauntlets, mind you, because he's safe, the set of hands reaches up like this to grab a hold of Thorfinn's spear and misses. Thorfinn pulls the spear back and you see him go like this. He looks back at the other angels like, y'all see that? What the fuck was that? Huh. Starts fucking firing again. And as soon as he goes over this fucking spot, you see the set of hands. Right, so Thorfinn doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He thinks he's seeing shit, right? So about this, he fires over that fucking crease again, and instead of hands come up in the gauntlets, right? Boom! And grabs the haft of his fucking pike. And Thorfinn's like,
Fuck around and find out.
whoa, shit! He fucking snatches his fucking pike back, right? And I'm like, ooh. Now, mind you, Thorfinn has a rule. When you come to the war field, right, you come with 3 weapons, right? Minimum 3 weapons. You come with a skirmish axe because in case you get armed, you're armed. 2, you come with some kind of 2-handed weapon because you're there to do a job. And 3, you come with a pike because that's what you do, right? You come with the 3 weapons. You come prepared to go to work because you're there for the king and you're there to do the king's work, right? Now, mind you, Thorfinn's name is Thorfinn the Cruel. This is the man that fucking knighted me, right? Like, right? Like, you're talking about bad choices. He fucking karate chopped me in the fucking face. Like he's Bruce fucking Lee. I'll tell you that story too, right? So he fucking snatches his pike back from this dude, looks at this fucking crease and sees his body, right? Like this much of his body. And he goes, walks back to his Danax, throws his pike on the ground, boom, and it fucking flies off somewhere, picks up his Danax, grabs it like this. Now, mind you, this is the butt end of the axe. 2 hands. It is fucking long for Thorfinn because Thorfinn's only like 5'2" or whatever. Like he's not big. He's not real tall, but he fucking like, right. But anyway, it's not, but he grabs it in the fucking end, right. And runs at the wall, full speed, like this. There are fucking pikes, like arrows, like fucking nuclear missiles, like shit go by Thorfinn. Thorfinn don't give a fuck. Right. His belly hits the fucking wall, and you see this axe go whack like this. All I see is a set of shoes, a set of boots, and a set of hands go. They clapped around his fucking axe, and I hear a human being go, oh! And Thorfinn looks over the wall at this dude. Now, mind you, there are still fucking pikes going and arrows. And Thorfinn looks at him and goes, huh. Turns, walks back, throws his axe down, picks his pike up, and goes back to work. I am like, are you fucking shitting me, Thorfinn? You just tacoed a man on a fucking rattan weapon, and you're just going to go back to work? That's some bullshit, man.
It's a business.
For fuck's sake. Like, at that moment, I'm like, I want to be that fucking guy, not the taco guy. Like, fuck that. But seriously, like, and I'm serious, it made that noise with human hands and feet. But it's not right.
I love this story.
Jesus Christ.
Here every time.
It fucking hurts my insides.
So Kelly actually was, commented in the comments, and he said he was waiting for Helgi to come out and kill this guy, and Helgi apparently wasn't doing it, so he had to take matters into his own hands.
I'm sorry, Kelly should never be allowed to take matters into his own hands ever.
I mean,
dude, it was fucking horrible. What it was.
So one of my favorite stories, actually, Fearghus, one of my favorite Fearghus stories happened when I had just walked away, and it was you telling the raccoon story that you just told. And then I was like, oh, he told the funny story, I'm going to go to bed. And I went to bed, and apparently Thorfinn and Helgi got into a wrestling match 5 that I didn't even see. And you've told that story. That story was fucking hysterical. But yeah.
Oh, dear. I watched a grown-ass man slap the taste out of another grown-ass man, and then said grown-ass man rubbed other grown-ass man's face in the gravel.
It was gravel. Yes. It was
the attic was full of grass and loveliness, and they picked the fucking gravel to wrestle in.
It's so typical.
I'm still loving slapped the taste out of his mouth.
Dude, okay, so here's the story. Once again, right, I've chased the Angels for years. If you don't know who the Angels are, you're probably not Western, but fuck, whatever. These guys, fucking amazing, funny as fuck, the stories. Starting Crapo. The first armor I ever wore was Obadiah the Obstreperous' armor in his backyard, and broke the head off his fucking pal, right? The whole bit, that's all stories, right? But, so the story I had heard about Thorfinn and Helgi meeting is they wrestled for 16 hours each other and broke furniture and shit like this. So we're at a Uncle Fearghus storytelling night at an event, and I'm like, the story I want to fucking hear is how you two jackasses, because I had a captive audience of Thorfinn and Helgi at the same place, how you two motherfuckers met. And they tell the story about wrestling and stuff like this, and somehow it devolved until they both got up and went like this. And when knights grab their fucking chains and take them off, shit's about to get real.
Let me just interject this. This was a year ago.
Yeah. So
I'm ancient history. These are two 50-year-old guys who are fucking tearing shit.
I'm what did I just do?
I am witness to this wrestling match, and Kelly or Thorfinn is very used to losing losing.
No,
other way.
Oh, okay.
Thorfinn has beat Helgi every time except for that one night.
Yeah, it was epic.
So
yeah. Next
thing I know, these two motherfuckers stand up. Right now, in my world, whenever I came up, these two gentlemen, in my opinion, were two of the fucking guys that were just amazeballs, right? So I'm like, what the fuck did I just do? Oh my God, I'm gonna go to bed because I gotta watch. It's like a train wreck. So they're fucking ripping that shit off, right? And they walk out.
There's these apparently 10-year-old squires that are sitting there what's even happening?
And they face off with each other, and they're doing the thing, and all of a sudden I see fucking Thorfinn reach out and go, and from this far, go, open hand slap Helgi. Helgi and you saw the look on Thorfinn's face, and he was like, I don't think that's the best idea.
So also
I think he might have.
Helgi is several inches taller than Thorfinn.
Yeah, and next thing you know, here comes fucking Helgi, right? Whoosh! And they start wrestling full on wrestling, and you see this fucking arm over and all this other shit. Next thing I know, Helgi is on top of fucking Thorfinn, and he's got his arm trapped to where Thorfinn's ear is making a suction sound on his shoulder, like this. He got it, and Helgi has Thorfinn's head like this. This is gravel, and he's and he's fucking grinding his fucking. I'm like, that's your friend,
his best friend in the entire universe.
He's fucking grinding, and fucking Thorfinn's like, no, yeah. And all of a sudden, you see you see the look on his face is this is not going well, and he goes. And Helgi, it's like somebody went, click, turned off the light switch of the fucking Hulk. And he went, oh, look, I'm Bruce Banner. Helgi just got up and helped his buddy up. And it was nothing fucking happened. I'm like, that's assault. Somebody call the cops. What the fuck?
Oh
right?
God.
So I got to relive one of the stories that I'd fucking heard for years, that I grew up on cutting my teeth, and watched this and knew that I instigated it. So I pray to God that neither one of them go, you know what Fergus did to us one time? Yeah, we're going to fuck that dude up. Like, seriously.
I will point out you've been open hand slapped by Thorfinn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
you're knighting. You're knighting. Tell us about your knighting.
So when I first started the SCA, I was living up in Riven Oak. I didn't have money for armor, everything else like this. Everybody was helping me. And Sir Bjorn, now Sir Bjorn, before then it wasn't Bjorn, right? We would get in my little Ford Ranger truck. I was 380 pounds. Bjorn was 400 pounds. It's a Ford Ranger standard, right? I was rubbing this man's thigh, shifting, right? Like, I'm going to tell you right now, I think I made it to second base, right? So, but we would drive down to Calusa to Obadiah the Obstreperous' house. I didn't have armor. We'd go down there. He would fight in Cropode. I would watch because it was fucking cool as fuck, right? So we're like, hey, it's Thursday. Let's go to Cropode, right? Boom. We jump in the thing. Little handy job, right? Driving down to fucking Calusa, right? We get there. Of course, Bjorn's happy because he got a handy. I was fucking shifting, whatever. So we go up to Ob's door. We're like, where are all the fucking cars? Are we just early? Maybe we're just early. So we knock on the door, right? A couple seconds later, door fucking rips open. If you people didn't know Ob, fuck you. You missed out, right? This man fucking rips the door open, whoosh, looks at us. What the fuck are you doing here? We're like, Cropode? He goes, that's next week, assholes. We're like, well, fuck. All right, I guess we'll go home. And we got to turn to walk away. And Ob goes, well, you're fucking here. Want to do some practice? And Bjorn looks at me and I'm like, yeah, dude, go ahead, right? Because I don't have armor. So I'm going to sit there and watch. So I'm sitting there, hanging out, right, watching. Ob looks at me as he's training Bjorn. He goes, want to put on some armor? And I'm like, sure. And to be honest, I've lost track of where the story was going, but this is the story I'm telling. So
I asked about your knighting, but you know what?
Okay, no, I'm gonna get there. Right, it's a long fucking story.
Okay, as long as you end up there, that's fine.
I'll end up there.
I'm here for the journey.
The story is that part of the story is Thorfinn was Ob's squire, right? Since became an. So Ob puts me in his armor. I don't know who the fuck Ob is, right? Apparently, I'm putting on this fucking great man's armor, first time ever. Ob's like, all right, I got to teach you how to throw flat snap. So I'm in his backyard. He's got this fucking, and I remember what I remember of this Pell is it's a fucking giant lawn gnome, like a 6 foot tall, like fucking lawn gnome made of wood, right? He goes, throw flat snap. I'm like, funk, right? He goes, fuck's wrong with you? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, fucking hit it. I'm like, okay. Funk. He goes, really? Fucking hit it. I'm like, bang! And the fucking head flies off. And I'm like, oh my God, I broke his shit, right? And he looks at me, he looks at the fucking head, looks at me, he goes, he goes, that was fucking cool. And runs over and grabs the fucking head and walks back, jams it back on and goes, do it again, right? So seriously, right? Like that's how I got fucking started. And then he goes, do you want to fight? I'm like, sure. He goes, hey, Bjorn, put your helmet on. I'm like, oh, all right. So Ob walks over, grabs his fucking helmet. This is, at the time, Count Obadiah, later to become Duke Obadiah, puts his fucking helmet on my head. I am now outfitted in a Count's armor that is known across the fucking everything. They start teaching me to fight. Fucking Bjorn starts hitting me in the thigh, right? And I'm like, ah! And he goes, you might want to block that, right? And I'm like, okay. Bang! Ah! Right? Hey, that thing, might want to block that. This went on for a fucking 2.5 hours. Like, pounding the fuck out of my fucking leg. Like, I went to work the next day and they're like, did you get in a car accident? I'm like, no, I just need to learn to fucking block. Like, that's what I need to learn. So years go by, Obadiah wins crown again. It is at a crown, the crown event where they're choosing his successor, right? Final court, I get called into court. Obadiah. Now, mind you, this man is quintessential in my fucking upbringing in the West Kingdom because it was his armor. I've always loved the man, the whole bit. He calls me up to court. He goes, so I talked to my dudes, and this is Ob, so that's what he fucking said. Talked to my dudes, and they think that you'd be worthy to be a knight. So what do you think? You want to be knighted? I'm shitting myself. I'm like, are you fucking shitting me, right? Yes. That's all I got. Right? Yes. And he goes, okay, I'll tell you what. Here's how it is. Thorfinn won crown that day. He goes, I can do it, or I've already talked to my successor. He would be willing to do it also. I'm like, okay, right? So I choose to have Thorfinn do it because it's still in the same line. And Thorfinn is the guy that I've really hitched my wagon to as far as this is the guy that I want to be.
If we just
Right?
fast forwarded like 15 years, right?
Yeah. It's been like 15 years. Like it took me 15 years to get knighted because I wouldn't shut the hole under my nose and I wouldn't go to fucking
We're in-
practice.
Suddenly
So
we're
go
in
to practice.
2014.
Yeah. Go to fucking practice, you lame asses. Right? So
Not during a pandemic. Don't go.
yeah,
to
not during pandemic.
Unless you're quarantined.
Legalese, like right. So anyway,
No. Fergus, I am now interrupting your story and challenging you as Earl Marshal to deadpan the legalese that you just quoted and went by about fighting during a pandemic. Do it with grace, you drunk motherfucker.
here's the gracious part. Put others before yourself. Simple as that.
Fuck off. You're so good.
Yeah.
It comes down to this. I understand that it comes down to the fact that you want to do things and that you may be fine and that you may be okay. But understand this. If you give it to somebody else that is not, you are fucking killing them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? No ifs, ands, or
Not
buts.
the
And I'm
fun
not
way.
here. I'm not here to fucking put sugar on stuff. I'm not here to make people feel nice. Fuck that. I have had people directly in my friendship group die because people were fucking assholes. I want to fight. I want to hug her face. I want to hug her face and his face and everybody's fucking face. But fuck that. We have to do what is best for everyone. I am not here to look out for myself. I am here to look out for everyone else. And if I've got two people looking out for me as much as I look out for everyone, then I am twice as strong. Stay strong, do what needs to be done, and we will be back. But don't be the asshole.
I love you so hard. And that's why I'm not like running over and hugging you right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
for
also
real.
you're 120 miles.
Okay, so now back to the hilarity, now that we've had the serious moment.
So
You being
I-
knighted by Thorfinn.
Hilarious
I choose-
ensues.
I choose to have Thorfinn do the knighting because Ob offered it, which was amazing. And trust me, Ob gave me a lot of shit. He would walk up to me after my knighting and put his hand on my face and goes, oh, that'd fit just fine. Right? And he'd walk off. I'm like, so I choose to have Thorfinn do it because also it gave my family that were very broad spectrum to be able to come in and be there. So I go into my knighting.
I mean, having Thorfinn do it is just virtually the same as Ob. I mean,
Yeah, it's-
they kind of were interchangeable.
Now, mind you, I've chased Thorfinn for years, right? Thorfinn and I fought a million times. And right, that man has beat my ass just more times than not. So he knows me. I go in and we go through the ceremony. And I got to be honest, when you're getting knighted or when you're getting elevated, you don't hear the words, you feel the emotion. Thorfinn cries as much as I do.
Oh.
He's a big fucking crybaby just like me. And I remember during the ceremony looking up at my king, and my king was weeping.
He's a crier.
And we go through the ceremony and it's wonderful. And he looks at me and he says, bow your head. And I look at him and I'm like, nope. I'm going to look at you with the fucking eyes. Because the night before, the king comes into my vigil and he gives me advice, and it's wonderful advice. And then he goes, okay, we have business to take care of. I'm like, okay. He goes, so about your buffet, what do you want? And I looked at this man straight in the face And I'm like, Thorfinn, there's one man in my life that has ever slapped me in the face and got away with it uninjured. And I called him Dad.
Mhm.
You will be the second. Thorfinn looked at me and he goes, all right, and walks out. So the next day, I'm up there and I'm knelt down in front of the king. And he says, bow your head. And I look him straight in the eye. And he puts his hand on my head. And I feel his hand on my face. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to get that cool fucking picture of the fucking hand on the face. It's like, I wanted that thing. It's going to be awesome. And I see his hand come back. And I'm like, here it comes. And then all of a sudden, he's a fucking fighter to the truest fucking form. And I see his hip go click. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He throws a flat snap, blade on. His hand comes forward. And instead of hitting me like this, his hand goes, whack! And fucking karate chops me in the fucking jaw. I'm like, and I don't fall. I sit up. My own wife, in her head, tells me later, she goes, don't punch him in the dick. Don't punch him in the dick. Don't punch the king in the dick. And I'm like, and I look at him, and Thorfinn looks at me, and I'm like, he nods at me, and and then I feel his hands grab me and snatch me up off the ground. Like Thorfinn picks up a 380-pound man from his knees, snatches me off the ground and hugs me. And I'm like, boom, this is it. But to this day, I don't have a fucking picture of a man's hand on my fucking face. But my jaw at times still fucking hurts.
Send us the bill for TMJ.
Dude, he fucking literally, and it was funny because we are taught hips and to rotate, and he did. Like the fighter, the lizard brain kicked in. He's like, I'm killing fucking Fearghus today. What? And I don't think he realized it happened. But I saw it, and everything was slow, and I was like, pow! So yeah, careful what you wish for.
I never want to get smacked by Thorfinn ever.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, right?
That sounds like I've known people that have gotten legitimately hit.
Thorfinn buffeted the guy that was already a knight because the guy didn't feel that his buffet was good enough. So Thorfinn jumped up and slapped the fucking taste out of his mouth.
I love that story. God, that's my other favorite story. Yeah, no, that's a good one. Like you didn't get hit hard enough.
Yeah, Thorfinn's like, I'll fucking give it to you.
I'll give it to you.
Give a shit.
They'll just like. More
questions.
We have any other questions?
We do.
Okay. Do you want to keep going?
I'm serious. And I'm not lying. I'm not trying to blow people, smoke up people's asses. I love this kind of stuff. I love story time. I love hanging out. This is beautiful.
Care. I love you.
Fucking let's go. Like, and tell people if I can get tired of me, I'm full of me.
Also,
I love my own voice.
You can tune out anytime if you want.
So we're gonna go with a Fearghus specific question.
Okay.
From Logan again, because he's throwing shade tonight. I would like to note that all your squires failed to send us questions.
I know. Where's fucking Steiner threatened me?
Oh.
Now,
I think it's because Steiner's so old he forgot what questions were.
I'm throwing down and saying that all your squires failed an opportunity here because we would have made them prime question choice. So from Logan, tell us about meeting your Swedish cousin.
Oh dear God. All right, so Logan was right. And it's the only time I'll say it, right? But Logan was right. So I met Logan years ago. It was at a very really small event in the West. I show up, we're hanging out, and I see this guy standing over the corner. He's dressed to the fucking nines. Like his shit is on fucking par. Right? 14th century, which I don't fucking understand because it's too many fucking buttons and it doesn't look fucking comfortable. I'm Norse because I get to wear pajamas all day. Right? So, but he looks good. But he's standing over by himself. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? Right? Like, so I go like, hey, how's it going? And strike up a conversation. Turns out it's Logan, right? Logan's a great fucking dude, everything else like this. And we start talking. He goes, so I got to ask a question. I'm like, yeah. He goes, do you have a brother that lives in Sweden? I'm like, not that I know of. My dad was kind of a whore, but not that I know of. I don't think he ever went to Sweden. He goes, I got somebody you got to meet. And he tells me about this guy for years. So one year we all go out to Penzing and he goes, oh my God, your fucking Swedish brother's here. I'm like, all right, like you've been talking about this dude for a while, like whatever. So he runs off, he scampers off, right? And if you know Logan, that's all he can do is scamper because his legs are only this long, right? So he scampers off, comes running back, right? And I'm sitting there, and now mind you, I'm in my Norse fighting attire with my lamellar, right? Leather lamellar with fucking red pants and a brown tunic and my helmet. And I look across the field, I'm like, who the fuck? What? Where'd Logan get a fucking mirror? Like what? He's walking across the field with a dude that's the same size as me in brown pants, in fucking red pants, brown tunic, lamellar, very similar helmet, same fucking size, like the whole bit. Comes walking over, takes off his helmet, fucking furry ass fucking red hair with a beard. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? He goes, this is Eric. I told you he's your fucking brother. We looked exactly alike. I ain't fucking kidding you. It is scary how close we fucking look alike. And we literally fell in love with each other. Like we were two peas in a fucking pod. But Logan could not be more right. Eric and I are literally exactly alike in personality and everything. So I got to give it to Logan. And it's the one time in his life that he's been right 100%, right? That is my Swedish brother. And now Eric comes over here and we hang out. And, but yeah. And Eric is amazing. If you ever have a chance to meet myself and my fucking Swedish brother, one, leave your liver at home because we will fuck that thing up. And two, come fucking hang out. Because I'm going to tell you, and get him to say ninja. Like it is the fucking funniest thing in ninja. Like it's fucking hilarious. Right. But yes, amazeballs. And then Eric and I went out and just started fighting together the entire time. Like people did not know what fuck they would look at like what, how am I getting hit by the same person twice? Like this is not fucking cool. So yeah, no, Eric, amazeballs.
Miss Sassy, would you like to choose the next question, or shall I just keep randomly selecting? Out of the
okay, so do we have I don't see the questions in
submitted chat questions. Just scroll down below.
Oh, here, hold on, real quick. My love, Sylvie, can you do me a favor and bring me another cider, please?
So all I'm seeing is empty space where it says chat submitted questions.
Oh, they've already gotten old with me. They're done with me.
Well, I guess I will keep going.
Keep going. There. I would. Okay, I'm refreshing. Oh, there they all are. Fuck. So I guess since I don't have the editing privileges on this particular document, it doesn't update every time somebody changes something. What I would like to do, yes, ask the next question. I would love to go to the bathroom again.
All right. So with that, I'm going to ask a very Fearghus-based question.
I hate you.
This one comes from AJ.
Oh, the AJ?
Yeah, the AJ.
Nice.
No, wait a minute. What AJ are we talking
Where
about?
the fuck have you been? Oh, old school dude, right? Like I've known him since he was
Okay, no. We're actually talking about my pocket psycho, not about
Antonio or Alfar, who are both AJs. So you understand?
No, there's two others.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Guys, get a different name.
For fuck's sake.
I'm going to the bathroom.
His SCA name is Fritz. He's amazing. I love him. So,
Fritzy. Hello,
what
Fritzy.
are your feelings about raccoons?
To be honest, I love them. If I could, I would have another. Thank you, my love. I would have another one in an instant for a pet. I would. They are amazing. They're so much fun. Here, I'll take a drink. Hold on. So when I was a child, outside of the raccoon story, my father bringing him in the house, we actually had a raccoon as a pet. And when I say a pet, like she roamed the house free, right? Her name was Rachel. We got her when she was a very, very small baby, right? Like so small that as a 7-year-old boy, I could hold her in my hand like this. And we had to go out and buy a little baby doll because it had a bottle this big that we could feed her with, right? That's how small she was. And she grew into a full-size, huge fucking raccoon. But it was amazing because you see this hair, this is nothing compared to when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was as skinny as a toothpick and had a giant fucking afro. So I looked like an orange on a toothpick, right? Like it was fucking horrible, right? But I would run out in the woods and I would play in the woods all day and I would come home with sticks and bugs and shit in my hair. And I would lay in the front room like this and Rachel would sit right here on my fucking neck and pick through my hair and she'd pick out the bugs and she'd eat those. And she'd pick out, my hair was never fucking so clean, right? So raccoons, if you can get them as a very small thing and domesticate them, they are amazing, but they still have thumbs. And if you piss them off, it don't take much to bring out the thumbs. And my dad pissed her off one day. And one day I'm sitting in the fucking front room like this, right? Watching the Dukes of Hazzard in my underwear. Because once again, that's what we wore in the South. Like this, right? On the floor. Because I was a child, not allowed on the couch, right? My dad, Rachel was sitting right here on the back of my dad's chair, picking through his hair, right? And he's like, stop it, right? She didn't stop. So my dad reaches back and grabs this raccoon like this and throws her across the room. She fucking hits the wall, slides down a rock hall. And when she jumps up, she's like, and she's mad. She's like, I'm going to fuck you up, old man. Starts running across the room at my father. The only thing I can think is grab her, because if she gets to my father will kill her and I love her, right? So I grab this raccoon as she's running by and I jam this pissed off 15-pound raccoon under my 10-year-old body, right? And grab her like this and hold on to her while she's angry. And she's fighting. But she never once bit me. She never once scratched me. She wanted my dad, right? My dad got pissed, went out, built a cage for her. She had to live the rest of her days until somehow she got out of the cage. I don't know how that happened. Oops. But yeah, no, if I could, to this day, I would have another raccoon pet, 100%, right? They're amazing. They're amazing creatures and they're fun to play with. And I'm not advocating get a raccoon as a pet because they're illegal as fuck and you got to be ready. But the funniest thing to do to a raccoon is they wash their food. All their food is washed, right? And it's funny, right? You give them the food and they'll run over their food bowl and they'll wash it. You know what happens to white bread if you give it to a raccoon and they wash it? It turns to nothing, right? So we would give Rachel white pieces of bread and she'd run over to her fucking water bowl and she'd go like this. And she'd look at her hands and go, and look at us like, you guys are fucking assholes, right? And we were like, haha, that's funny, right? So yeah, no, raccoons, amazeballs. Fucking love them.
So as I ran upstairs to go to the little Tulia's room, the show is playing upstairs on the TV. And I realized, like, I wanted to ask you, Fearghus, how many of your raccoon stories involve you being in your underwear?
All of them. If you've never been to Mississippi in June,
yeah, no,
I fucking know.
I've been to Louisiana in June, which I imagine is very similar.
Yeah. So, and tell me right now, honestly, don't fucking lie. If you could have ran around in your underwear, you would have, wouldn't you?
Oh, girl, I was definitely running around in my underwear anyway.
See? I'm going to tell you. Like, there's a picture floating around the internet, and I'll post it again, of me like this, and it's the full afro with me in my underwear flexing as a child, right? That was every fucking day.
I have seen that. Yeah. All right, next question. We're going to do... I'm going to go with Casey. Casey's question, which is, what are you hoping to accomplish in the next year? It's New Year's. Let's talk about what we're going to do.
What I'm hoping to accomplish in the next year is just, one, keeping what sanity I have left. Two, helping everyone that I can, right? Just doing everything that I can for everybody else, right? I have been blessed in my life that I have a ton of people that want the best for me. And the only thing that I can do is give that back and give that back 100%. So I just want to be here. I just want to be that sounding board because I know what people are going through and I understand it. And if people need help or they just need somebody to fucking come over and cry with, I will fucking shed tears with anybody. right? I just want people to understand that we're going to get through this and that we're going to make it through it. And we're going to come out the other side and we're going to come out different, but better, and just fucking hang in there. And if you need to fucking rant at somebody, if you need to yell, scream, and holler, I'm your man. Bring it. You're not going to offend me. Get it out. Let's go. And then at the end, I want, to be honest, this goes to my family and my wife and my son. I want them to understand and know that no matter what, we are all here. We can do this. Let's get it done.
Oh, yeah.
What do I want? Hoping to accomplish in the next year.
Read your chat messages before you answer. It's like 1 second.
Yes, agree.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, we all talk behind the scenes, just so y'all know. Y'all have dealt with that before. I'm going to say, what am I hoping to accomplish this next year is to become a more aware and articulate person, both in the society and outside of the society, is to continue my growth and to address continued toxic behaviors within myself that affect those around me. So that when we can gather again, I am a better peer for those that want to be in the society.
I mean, I want to survive this year. I just want to survive this year. Anything else that happens on top of that is icing on the cake. I don't think we'll be doing a lot of traveling. If we're lucky, maybe this time next year we can do that. But it's gonna be a long haul, and it's gonna be another slog, I think, honestly, just because of the nature of the fuckery that we have endured for 2/3 of 2020, and we are now cresting into 2021. But the same fuckery not resolved in any way, shape, or form. So I don't hold out a lot of hope that I'm going to see, like, in a couple of months, a massive difference. It's not going to happen. So for me, it's going to be just all about surviving and thriving and finding ways to thrive within the survival mode that I'm in. So yeah, that's my goddamn, that's depressing.
I was about to say we were supposed to live on a.
We were supposed to
leave the show
end on this
a high note.
question. So we ask another question that's fun.
Yes.
All right, who are you in the comic book universe?
Okay, that's a good question.
Me? I'm
Yeah.
the fucking Hulk. I'm always angry. Fuck that.
Okay, I'm gonna twist this. Who are you in the comic book universe? Who do you think that the hosts are in the comic?
Oh,
book
that's a good
universe?
one. Yeah.
Oh, that's hard.
And why?
Mm.
Fuck, my geek only runs so deep. I'm the fucking Hulk, right? Let's be honest. I'm a mixture of the Hulk and Wolverine because one, I'm always angry, and two, you're not gonna fucking keep me down. Like, fuck off, right? Like, seriously. Oh God, that's a hard one for me. Like, because you both hold so specific points for me, right? Like, Tulia, the amount of snark that you have and the amount of joy that I see in your face and the fun, and to be honest, you remind me, and it's the overarching thing, not the personality, but the overarching thing. You're Jubilee, right? Like fucking sparkle.
I was gonna say,
and
like, actually,
flash.
Jubilee.
And like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna fucking pow, right? Like it's on, right?
You're right. No, I know.
And that's
no
an
argument.
evolution. That's an evolution that I have seen that happen,
Yeah.
where it's like, I didn't know that I knew you back then, but as I think back, I'm like, I can remember that face, and I can remember that shy person that would be like in the background, but had that thing. And now you're just like, fuck it. I'm wearing a fucking coronet made out of fucking beer caps. Fuck all of y'all, right? Like, pow, let's do this, right? So it's fucking balls out, right?
Oh, I have. Here's the funny part. Like like Bruce Banner. The secret is I have always given no fucks. I just needed to embrace the fact I needed to just say, and you know, when what you saw as a shy retiring, you know, flower in the background was really somebody that was just like overwhelmed about all of the shit that was happening everywhere. And this has been an evolution for me. But I agree. I think Jubilee was going to be my answer anyways. So that's me. Yeah, I'm an X-Men.
And my little sister,
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, she is 100% mixture of Deadpool and She-Hulk,
Mhm.
right? Simple as that. Like, I have watched that little fucking face, oh, and the little cuteness, you know, to squeeze the cheeks, and to fucking let go of me, right? Like, 100%. She is just become the person that will not be stopped, that will find that thing and grab it like a fucking pit bull and hold on to it and shake it until it's dead and be like, I am not going to let you get away with being dumbassery. I'm going to call you on your shit. Fuck it all. Right. I have seen her look at people that are there at that point felt that they were far beyond her station and say, you know what? Fuck you. At least I'm doing something. She's got bigger balls than fucking 90% of the people I know, if not 100% of people I know.
You're gonna make me blush.
And it comes down to the fact that she just doesn't give a fuck, and she's going to do what's right on Tuesday at fucking 7-Eleven. Right? At 3:00 in the fucking morning. And you two ladies have taken this thing, this horrible fucking shithole, and made this bright fucking moment every goddamn week. So understand that I gave you guys shit about not being invited to be on, and I hope that whatever. Thank you for giving me this. And the bright moment is the fact that, God damn it, this is amazeballs, and you honor me with letting me be the first person of this year. Fuck it all. Let's walk through this shit like it's a giant sack of shit and stomp it fucking flat. We got
Giving
this.
double middle fingers the whole way.
I'm down for this.
Long live us. Long live every fucking buddy.
Yep.
Agreed. And I think that is the perfect note to end the show on, because fuck 2020. Celebrate the lessons we've learned, and in 2021, may we all rock it out.
Fuck yeah.
With our cups.
So, with that, we're gonna
Oh,
go
what,
to
no,
other
I'm gonna stop you real quick. I gotta say this real fucking quick. If anybody's got an issue with anything I fucking said tonight, and I'm not trying to be an asshole, I'm right here. Come talk to me.
Yeah. As always.
I mean, actually, amusingly enough, we don't get a lot of pushback about the show.
No, we don't. Weirdly.
It's kind of insane.
It's really weird. There have been shows where I was like, oh, I know I'm going to wake up to like some hate mail. And now everyone's like, crushed it.
Yep. So,
okay.
Thank you for being on. We're going to go to show shout outs. So here's, we've done the questions and everything else like that. So do you have another show or a person or a thing that you would like to give thanks to or shout out, a call out?
Yeah, I do. I want to give a shout out to all those people behind the scenes. Service 100%. I talk about this shit all the time. Without service, we're a bunch of dumbasses standing in the middle of the field fucking committing assault in funny fucking clothes. Right? That's all we are. The most important people in what we do are the pelicans. Are the people that do those things that allow us to do these things. So Carius, fucking thank you. Katrina, fucking thank you. Everybody else behind the scenes that are doing those fucking things that allow me to stand here and be a giant fucking dumbass. Thank you. Because for fuck's sake, you are what we need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I want to fucking say thank you for. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the other thing to give a shout out to, everybody willing to stand in front of the camera and put yourself fucking out there.
So I would like to, for my shout out, One, it's a two-pronged thing. One, I would like to apologize to Cal for his show, Calbert's Corner, on Wednesday when he had like
I'm
all
apologizing.
of us plus 3 other Westies on, and I mean, poor guy. Like, someone should have warned him that
He got up in his own show and left.
I know. And I literally was like, we owe this dude like a giant but see, what happened was he got the actual like Westie experience on his show. But Cal is having his show this next week, and our very own Katrina, who is our modest, I'm just calling her a modest now, our mod goddess, modest, she's gonna be on it, so tune in to Cal Bard's Corner. Like, I mean, he does everything. Like, he's got like, so what the hell was that, Fergus?
There.
You stuck the landing, but yeah, he's got everything, like anything, everything, like gaming, conversation, topics, the whole breadth and depth. So definitely check out Cal Bard's Corner.
100%.
Yeah. Helga.
Oh man, well, you stole mine. We really should talk about these beforehand, because
I know we really do.
Like, I was gonna shout out Cowboys Corner, but also I'm gonna shout out. So Fergus, you highlighted behind the scenes. There are so many web shows going on. These web shows would not be going on. These groups and areas would not be going on. The various Discord servers, the Facebook pages, the YouTube pages, these are all supported by so many people. They are helping us make content, and that is priceless, actually. Like, we cannot create content without those that support us. And so my shout out tonight, because it is the beginning of the year, is actually going to go to the viewers of content. Because without the viewers, why the fuck would we be here?
370.
Yeah, like,
I'll tell you why. Stroking our ego. Don't lie.
I mean, so I've actually had a really cool conversation with another person that was on the show. Of most of these shows are what we would call ego projects. If they went away, nobody would die. Like, it's not changing the world, but it is touching enough lives, or it is being a part of people's lives, that it's worth continuing to do. So we have to remember that we're here because it is our own project, but we're supported by the viewers, and the viewers make this shit happen. They send in the questions, they interact with us on the boards, they continue to drive us when we're like, man, maybe we're tired. And then Sassy and I get a message where they are like, thank you for doing this. I really enjoyed the last episode. You guys keep me going during the week. And it's like, well, fuck, apparently we're going to go another week. We're going to go one more week. We're going to go.
It is literally how Helga and I do this. Like, god damn, we're so like, you know,
And so,
and then somebody's all like, this is what gets me through this. And we're all, okay, we're doing next week.
We're going next week. We're going again. We're going again. And so that's one of the things, is that my shout out tonight is not to another show. It's literally to the people that gift us the time and their kindness and all the words of appreciation, because you're the reasons why we keep going. You're the reasons why we find other people to interview. You're the reasons why we come up with some wacky motherfucking ideas and wear beer can chain night necklaces.
Oh, fuck, I need the matching set.
Because you're the reason why this gift occurs, and we hope that it can continue. So remember, with that, we're going to say like and share. Because your shares keep other people here. It's kind of a little like a virus. If you share out our content and somebody else watches, they then get to join us on the Discord server or as a follower on YouTube, and then we can annoy them further. I mean, we're already up to like 724 subscribers on YouTube, which is insane. And so I'm gonna say, like, share the content, like the video. Remember, likes equal doggo treats, and Fergus has a really cute whippet.
I do.
Which, by the way, I need you to send photos of giving treats to the whippet, so we can continue to go on with that.
If I do that, people are gonna be mad because, like, don't you ever feed that dog? Yes, that's what they're supposed to look like.
Skinny anyway.
Yeah. And so beyond that, next week, I will be hosting with my first guest host. So I'm going to be in Sassy's hot seat, where I do not have my amazing regular co-host with me. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to panic 7 ways from Sunday.
I get next week off. I'm going to be watching.
Sassy gets to critique from the sidelines.
I like
I'm
to
looking forward
watch.
to her snark.
Hey.
You're gonna
So,
do fine.
next week I will be hosting with His Grace or His Majesty, because I think Majesty outranks Grace.
Mhm.
The Bone Duke, Bela from the Outlands, and we.
Oh, Mr. Pink Hair.
Yep, pink hair don't care. And we will be interviewing Duke Sven from Anstiora.
Yep.
Ooh.
So tune in for that show. It is probably going to be a rowdy time of stick jock talk and three rednecks having conversations about knightly virtues.
Oh, it's
So I'm
100
looking
gonna
forward
be
to this.
100% gonna be stick jock talk.
Oh yeah.
But it's gonna be fun and interesting, and it will educate and amuse you. So
I am hoping so. Also, we have updated our commercials. If you're another show, cough, cough, Ask a Knights Live, that's always in our comments, and Calbar's Corner, and a couple other shows that tune in, you can send us commercials now, and we will post your commercials because we want to promote your shows on our show, because the content you're putting out matters to the society. So please send us commercials or send us like an outline for a commercial, and we will help promote your show on ours, because you should be promoted just as much as we're promoted. So
Yeah.
fuck you, get over it and send us your commercials.
yeah, send us some shit, dude. Come on.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And with that, Fergus, you've been amazing. Thank you so much. Our audience has
I'm
been
all right.
amazing. There's still 54 of you viewing the show. I have no idea how that
Probably
happened
a
after 3
record
hours.
At 3
We
hours.
love you all. We'll see you on the Discord channel or next Friday.
Yeah. Good night.
Night all.
Ah, raccoons, don't fuck with shit with thumbs.